Chapter 542. Lu Shuang finished the wine in his glass and chuckled. You don't allow it. Why? Is it because you're the president or because you're a married man? Because I love you. Shen Ian blurted out. Lu Shuang laughed so hard that he was about to cry. You love me, so you target my parents. You love me, so you kill my parents. You love me, so you force me to give birth to Xiao Bao and imprison my freedom. If this is love, then I'm sorry, I don't want it. Shen Ian went forward and grabbed Lu Shuang's hand forcefully. He asked firmly, what do I have to do to make you believe me? Lu Shuang wanted to shake his hand off, but he couldn't. He gave up struggling and looked at him coldly. I don't care if you love me or not, because I don't love you. Lu Shuang expressed himself clearly. Shen Ian felt that his heart was about to split open. He lowered his head and kissed her stubborn lips. He kissed her forcefully, as if he was punishing her. Lu Shuang moved back. He held the back of her head so that she couldn't move back. His red tongue entered her mouth. Lu Shuang bit his tongue without thinking. A sharp pain rushed to his brain. He didn't move away. He looked at Lu Shuang deeply. His eyes were filled with pity, guilt and pain. If he was in pain, she could calm down. He wasn't afraid of bleeding. He was only afraid of her leaving. Lu Shuang tasted his sweet blood and it flooded her mouth. He blocked her lips. She couldn't spit it out. She could only swallow it. Her throat and stomach were burning. She could only let go of his tongue. She thought that he would come out, but he didn't. He continued to kiss her. Lu Shuang slapped his face, but he didn't care. He picked her up and put her on the bed. Lu Shuang was furious. He pushed Shen Ian with all his might. He was handsome, but when he was mad, he was like a wild beast. Shen Ian, don't be like this. I'm already someone else's wife. She screamed angrily. He held her hands and pressed them against her side. With red eyes, he said irrationally, your husband can only be me. Who else? Say it. You are so unreasonable. Don't forget that you are married. If you dare to touch me, I will expose you. Mr. President raped a married woman. This title is enough to make you fall from the position of president. Lu Shuang warned. Come down. I don't want to do it anymore. I've sacrificed a lot for this president. Whatever. He said dispiritedly. He lowered his head and kissed her lips. Lu Shuang twisted his body to resist. His kisses trailed down from her lips to her breasts through her clothes. Lu Shuang was sweating profusely. She came back after learning about the situation. She knew that his parents had just died. She knew about what happened to Xing Dongcheng. She thought that he would avoid meeting her. It seemed that it was a little different from what she had imagined. Beep, beep, beep. The fire officer in the hotel picked her up. Lu Shuang paused. There's a fire. He pulled down her pants and kissed her lips. I don't care. You're crazy. You don't want to live, but I do. Get down, Lu Shuang said anxiously. He unbuckled his belt, zipped up his pants and got down anxiously. It hurt. Lu Shuang frowned and bit his shoulder. He snorted softly and held onto her crotch so that the two of them were even closer to each other. He knew how to get her to the top faster. Lu Shuang didn't want it. But there were many things that he couldn't control. They had been together for 2 years and were very familiar with each other's bodies. She was annoyed, speechless, and regretful. She fell onto the pillow and panted. Shen Ian knew what her reaction meant. He suddenly understood. You guys don't have this kind of relationship, right? I can feel it. You've only had it with me. Lu Shuang pushed him. We're almost there. Get lost. Shen Ian's eyes sharpened. Almost what? Like this? Lu Shuang was ashamed. When Shen Yan was crazy, no one could argue with him. Get down. Lu Shuang, you can't do this. You just had a good time and now you don't care about me anymore? He said while panting. He didn't want to get down at all. Are you crazy? The fire alarm has been called outside. Shen Yan, your IQ has dropped to the ground. Do you know that? Lu Shuang said angrily. Shen Yan looked at her seductively. Even though she was being sarcastic just now, Lu Shuang was still his Lu Shuang. He lowered his head and kissed her again and again. If I can always be like this with you, I don't want my IQ anymore. Shen Yan, your brain is filled with dirty things. How did you become the president? No wonder, you've become retarded. She moved back. He wanted it even more, but he still kissed her patiently. She turned her face away and pushed his face away. He let go of her hand, knowing that she liked other things. Lu Shuang's entire body was trembling. Another slap landed on his face. He wasn't angry at all. He held her hand and kissed it in his mouth. His mouth was too hot. She pulled her hand out and wiped his saliva on his body. Shen Yan smiled brightly. He hadn't been living well these days. Very, very well. There were unhappy things around him. Ever since she left, he wasn't happy at all. But now that she was back, all the troubles, difficulties, and worries were nothing to him. He had regained what he had lost, so he cherished it and was happy. He kissed her lips again. Lu Shuang turned her head away. He kissed her earlobe and called out intimately, "Piggy." Lu Shuang was numb from his kisses. She pushed his face away. Who's a piggy? He held her hand again and kissed her palm. She was annoyed. She didn't like him being so sticky. It made her feel hot and uncomfortable. But she was also angry. Anger danced in her eyes. He smiled and kissed her cheeks, her eyes, her forehead, the bridge of her nose, and then her lips. Lu Shuang pushed him hard, but she couldn't move. She pretended to be dead and didn't move at all. Shen Yan felt warmth in his heart. She used to like to pretend to be dead. She would always giggle when she couldn't hold it in anymore. His mood would always be abnormally good. They had been separated for 7 months. Every expression of hers, happy, sad, mischievous, troublesome, and wrong, he remembered it all. He liked every expression of hers. He didn't focus on his own enjoyment. He left. Holding his ankle, he kissed her. Lu Shuang sat up in shock. Her back leaned against the back of the bed. He lifted her chin and kissed her. She covered her lips. He had just kissed her there. She twisted and said angrily, "The fire is burning. It's going to be horrible. Are you out of your mind? There's no fire. Bai Ye's men must have done it on purpose." Shen Yan explained. Chapter 543. Stop it. Let's be like before. Except that you can't leave me, I will give you whatever you want. Shen Yan coaxed impatiently. Okay, then let's get a divorce. Lu Shuang smiled and a cunning look flashed across his eyes. He said firmly and provocatively, "If you get a divorce, I will marry you." I was just joking when I said that I have a husband. Shen Yan smiled. Okay, you said it. If I get a divorce, you will marry me. But give me 2 years. 2 years will be enough. Lu Shuang sneered. She knew it would be like this. Did Shen Yan think that she was an 18-year-old girl? Men lied to women by planning and imagining the future. For example, if a woman believed that a man would get a divorce, it would be silly of her to believe that a man would get a divorce. No matter how beautiful the words were, it was better to do it. Besides, she really didn't like him, let alone love him. So when she heard what he said, she just felt it was funny. Shen Yan, you are right. IQ is really contagious. Lu Shuang said meaningfully. Is it true that you have a husband, or are you just joking? Shen Ian sensed something unusual. Make a guess. A light flashed across Shen Ian's eyes. She held Lu Shuang's chin and said with certainty, I will say it again. Your husband can only be me. You can challenge my patience if you want him to die. Lu Shuang narrowed his eyes and looked at her. If she didn't know his stubbornness and knew that he was possessive, she would really think that he really loved her. If he loved her, he wouldn't let the murderer get away with it. Did he think that she didn't know who the murderer was? No, she knew. I am hungry. Lu Shuang suddenly said. What? Shen Ian paused. Didn't you say that you love me? You should know what I like to eat. Lu Shuang said with a smile and put his arms around the back of her neck. Shen Ian looked at her, her eyes filled with tenderness. He was a person who was very good at controlling his emotions, but one sentence from her could change his mood and state of mind. He sighed helplessly. He loved her so much. I'll go out and buy it for you now. Be good and wait for my arrangements, Shen Ian said gently. Let me think about it, replied Lu Shuang. He didn't want to go out anymore. He just wanted to look at her like this. He sat up, turned on his phone, and made a call. Go to the East Palace and ask them to prepare a few dishes. I'll text you later and have them sent to room 1102 of the International Hotel in Country A. While he was on the phone, Lu Shuang put on his pants and jumped out of bed. Before Shen Ian could hang up the phone, he held her hand. Lu Shuang pointed at the washroom. Only then did Shen Ian let go. She found a change of clothes and went to the bathroom to take a shower. Shen Ian wanted to go in, but the door was locked by Lu Shuang after she turned it a few times. 3 black lines appeared on his face. Lu Shuang heard a click and the door was opened by Shen Ian. She was not shocked and said sarcastically, Since when did Mr. President learn to be a thief? You're so good at picking locks. Shen Ian walked in. I've seen every part of your body. Why are you locking the door? I like to lock the door. I'm happy to do so. It's none of your business. Lu Shuang rolled his eyes at him. She did not want him to pester her, so she locked the door. He went forward, put his arms around her waist and pulled her into his arms. He said gently, If it's none of my business, who can? I don't need you to care. Lu Shuang replied. His good mood sank again because of her words. He said domineeringly, I'm going to care. So, I don't think I can live for long. Those people wanted to kill me because of you. Now that you're pestering me, it's no wonder I'm dead. I better go back to Country D and hide. Lu Shuang felt helpless. No, not this time. I've thought it through. I'll keep you by my side and be my assistant. You'll go wherever I go, Shen Ian said, looking at him with a burning gaze. Actually, he knew that she was willing to stay by his side because she wanted to find the murderer. Lu Shuang was not good at pretending. He nodded, feeling a little uneasy. Oh yes, how did our Xiao Bao die? Shen Ian asked, looking at Lu Shuang deeply. There was an outbreak of the N virus in Country D. My father was infected, and so was Xiao Bao. So, both of them died, Lu Shuang said with his eyes lowered. When I'm free, I want to visit Xiao Bao and your parents. Xiao Bao is my child after all, my only flesh and blood. Your parents are also my parents, Shen Ian said with a deep voice, sadness in her eyes. Lu Shuang frowned. He could not tell what he was really thinking. I know. I'll take a bath. You can go out first. Shen Ian took off her clothes. Together. I want to take a bath too. Lu Shuang looked at him. I don't have your clothes here. I'll get someone to send them over. You can stay at my place today. It's safe, Shen Ian said in a deep voice, not giving Lu Shuang any chance to refuse or resist. Lu Shuang did not refuse. She had her own plans. She squatted down in the bathtub and Shen Ian followed her in. She pressed against his hot chest. It's very small here. Well, it can only accommodate the two of us. Shen Yiyan looked at her lips and moved closer to her. Lu Shuang stepped back. Sitting in the bathtub, how far could she go? He kissed her lips. Although she was unwilling, under Shen Yiyan's coercion, she still let him in. She thought that she would just take it as having sex with a handsome guy. Anyway, he was handsome, had a good body, and had good tools. She felt much better when she thought of it this way. The landline in the room kept ringing. It was still ringing when she was carried to the bed by Shen Yiyan. She turned over and picked up the landline. Hello, I'm the receptionist. Are you okay? The fire alarm went off just now. All the other guests have come down except for you, the receptionist said softly. Has the fire been extinguished? Lu Shuang asked with drooping eyes. Shen Yiyan pursed her lips and smiled. It has been extinguished. The receptionist explained. You have already extinguished the fire. What else can happen to me? Lu Shuang hung up the phone and turned his back to Shen Yiyan to rest. Shen Yiyan's phone rang. He glanced at the caller ID. It was Baiya. He hung up immediately. Baiya called again. He picked it up. What's wrong? Shen Yiyan, are you kidding me? Why are you looking for Lu Shuang at this time? Don't you know why Lu Shuang's mother died? Baiya said agitatedly. Since she is already a nail, no matter if I appear or not, others will still treat her as a nail. If I appear, I can better protect her, right? Shen Yiyan asked. Don't provoke her. Let her live a normal life. Don't ruin her with your selfishness. Baiya was almost begging. Chapter 544. Lu Shuang lowered her eyes and looked at the air. She knew that the call was from Baiya. From Shen Yiyan's words, she could guess what Baiya had said. She felt sour and uncomfortable, so she took a deep breath and buried herself in the blanket. Shen Yiyan noticed Lu Shuang's abnormality. She put her hand on her shoulder and asked gently, "What's wrong?" "I'm hungry." Lu Shuang choked. Shen Yiyan lowered her head and kissed her on the back. Then she called her subordinate and asked, "Are you ready?" "We'll be there in 10 minutes, his subordinate reported. "Hurry up." "Yes." After a while, the food he ordered arrived as well. His clothes had arrived as well. It was a grand procession of people, and he estimated that there was an entire regiment of them. He ate with her while his men stood outside, fully armed and trembling. They blocked off the main road from north to south of the hotel, afraid that any news would leak out. Lu Shuang felt a little depressed. She took a deep breath and looked at him. He was calm and composed. He seemed to be in a good mood, with a smile on his face. "Don't you think that you are giving yourself away?" Lu Shuang asked, puzzled. "There are 300 taels. Besides being my personal assistant and taking care of my food and work, you are also my classmate from primary school and junior high school. Now that you are back in China, it is not too much for me to come and eat with you, right?" Shen Yiyan explained. "You sound so dignified, but you are just a hypocrite. You were disheveled just now, but now you are so handsome." Lu Shuang said with disdain. Shen Yiyan knocked her head. "You have learned a lot of idioms from your trip to Country D. I don't have to worry about the language skills of other kids anymore." Lu Shuang looked down at the mention of children. Luckily, she was smart enough to get hooked before she came back. Otherwise, if Shen Yiyan did not use the hookup, she would have been in danger. Shen Yiyan placed the chicken wings in her bowl. "Eat more. You've lost weight." Lu Shuang fiddled with the rice in his bowl. "I heard that your parents died because they killed Su Jiran's mother and committed suicide under your interrogation." Shen Yiyan's eyes dimmed. "It's all for Shen Shi. I'll tell you later. Come back with me after you finish eating." "I'll tell her later." She guessed that he didn't want to tell her, which was why he was so vague. She didn't really want to know. After dinner, Lu Shuang was asked to change into a white shirt, a black suit, trousers, a man's hair mask, a pair of sunglasses, and high-heeled shoes. She found it funny that Shen Yiyan had said that it was normal to have dinner with her elementary school classmates. What was she trying to cover up now? Shen Yiyan stood at the door with her arms crossed in front of her chest, watching her change. He realized that although she was thin, her waistline was very good. Have you worked out? Worked out? Do you think someone like me will go to the gym? Lu Shuang asked with a smile. Shen Yiyan raised an eyebrow. Indeed, she didn't like to work out. She wouldn't stand if she could sit or lie down if she could. She would definitely roll her eyes at him if he asked her to exercise. Are you born with waistline? It's because I've learned martial arts. If I don't practice self-defense after being assassinated time and time again, I'll get a lunchbox the moment I appear. Lu Shuang said. Oh. He didn't think that she would be able to master any martial arts skills in 6 months. Those martial arts masters had to train hard for at least 5 years before they could achieve any results. However, he didn't want to hurt her. He said with a doting smile, let's spar next time. Lu Shuang, she couldn't move at all when she sparred with him just now. No need. There's nothing to spar with you. I can't afford to hurt your body. He. Shen Yiyan smiled brightly. She felt guilty and knew that she was being mocked. What are you laughing at? He knocked her head. Don't spout vulgarities. You'll teach our child the wrong things. Lu Shuang frowned. Don't mention the child. I'll think of Xiao Bao. Shen Yiyan nodded. He didn't think that Xiao Bao was dead. From the looks of it, she must have hidden Xiao Bao somewhere. He didn't say anything about wearing her clothes. It's a little cold outside. You should wear 2 thermal underwear. That will make you look stronger. Damn it. Why didn't you say so earlier? I'm already dressed. Besides, where did you get 2 thermal underwear? He took off his thermal underwear. Lu Shuang was annoyed. He took off his shirt. He would freeze to death when he got out. Shen Yiyan picked up the thermal underwear. If you find it annoying, I'll help you put it on. Lu Shuang snatched the underwear from his hands. Thanks, but it's fine. After she put it on, Shen Yiyan looked at her. Lu Shuang put on his spectacles. We can go now. Shen Yiyan smiled. It seems that cross-dressing will only go unrecognized in dramas. Your chest muscles are not right at first glance. Lu Shuang rolled his eyes. Are you trying to cover up or are you trying to pass it off as real? Come on, tell me. I promise I'll do the opposite of what you want. He. Shen Yiyan laughed happily and carried her up. I like it when you're like this. Lu Shuang bumped him with her head. She still remembered that they had met when she was in grade 5. She ate well when she was young. Girls usually developed before boys. She was one of them. She started to develop in grade 5. She was quite huge and was arranged to sit at the last table by the teacher. As for him, he transferred here in grade 5. He was also arranged to sit at the last table, across the corridor from her. She didn't know if it was because of her or the others, but they all thought that he was very handsome. In grade 5, when she was still studying hard, many girls started to write love letters to him. There were so many love letters that they fell out of the drawer. Gossips didn't discriminate between men and women, young and old. She picked it up and opened it with curiosity. Something about you being the sun in the sky and I being a blade of grass on the ground. I'll smile when I see you. She almost laughed out loud. A love letter, the sun and a blade of grass. It was impossible. One was in the sky and the other was on the ground. If they got close, they would be burned to ashes. Even a blade of grass could smile? What a joke. She really wanted to see which classmate was so talented. She took a look and there was no signature. After she finished reading, she threw the letter into his drawer and happened to be seen by him. He took out the letter that she was reading from the drawer, glanced at it and replied. Out of curiosity, she opened it and read it. His reply was really blunt. She roughly remembered the content. You're a fat little pig in a pigsty and I'm a pig herder with a stick. If you insist on liking me, then I can only tell you that I hate eating pork. If you insist on pestering me, please allow me to be rude. I'll roar at you, scram. Oh right, I forgot, pigs can't understand such complicated things. Then, Gun. Chapter 545. In the car, Lu Shuang was resting with her eyes closed when her phone rang. She looked at the caller ID and sat up straight. Her voice softened a little. Hello. You're back in a country? The other party was shocked and angry. Yeah. Lu Shuang felt guilty and her expression was unnatural. She pursed her lips and said in a coquettish tone, I'm sorry. Shen Yiyan looked at her appearance, his heart inexplicably twisted, sour and painful, a flash of indignation between his eyebrows. She was like this. She always had no awareness of who she was. She confessed to him in the 5th grade. He didn't like her at that time, so she beat him up. Did she think that she could beat him with her mediocre taekwondo and huge body? He was the national youth martial arts champion. He pinned her to the ground and saw that she didn't cry. She pursed her lips stubbornly and didn't seem to be in pain. She was still happy every day and just rolled her eyes at him when she saw him. He just took it as she was attracting his attention. Gradually, he felt that pork was quite delicious. He ate pork every day anyway. She was chubby but kind. She brought snacks to school every day and the way she ate was quite cute. During the 6th grade National Day celebration, she sang a song called Firefly. It was quite nice. Her voice was sweet and soft, as if there were really fireflies flying around his ears. He thought that since he was bored, it might be fun to have a little girlfriend. He wanted to tell her that he agreed, but he didn't expect to see her confess to another boy. She said that she hoped to get into the same junior high school and study together. When they grew up, they would realize their dreams together and she would follow in his footsteps. He was angry. Following in his footsteps? Wasn't it obvious that they were going to get into the same university? Were they going to go to junior high school and college together? He was so angry that he beat the boy up so badly that he had to stay a level. How dare he snatch a woman from him? Wasn't he courting death? Who is it? Shen Yiyan asked with a gloomy face. Look, another person who wasn't afraid of death dared to call her. Lu Shuang didn't hear him and said to the person on the phone, I'll come back to make delicious food for you. Ha ha ha, then I'll eat your delicious food. Just this once, I'll be back soon. Soon. Before she could finish speaking, his face had already turned ashen. He snatched her phone and flew out of the window. Lu Shuang watched helplessly as his phone was thrown away. He was so angry that he hit Shen Yiyan's arm forcefully. Are you crazy? That's my phone. I'll buy you one later, Shen Yiyan said coldly, her eyes red. Give me your phone. Lu Shuang reached out to him. Although he was angry, he would still give her whatever she wanted, unless it crossed his bottom line. Passing the phone to her, Lu Shuang opened the window and threw the phone out. He looked at her and said, I'll buy you one later. I have a list of a lot of important people. I also have a list of many important people in there. Shen Yiyan frowned. What list of important people? The person who called you just now. Lu Shuang could tell that he was being sarcastic. Shen Yiyan, even if I'm a nobody, it's not right for me to throw away someone's phone. It's not that you can throw away someone's phone just because you're high and mighty. You feel that it's natural for you to throw away someone's phone, but you'll also feel angry when someone else throws away your phone. Since you don't like it, you should think about how others don't like it either. She returned his phone to him. So she didn't throw it away. Shen Yiyan looked at her helplessly and asked patiently, who were you talking to on the phone just now? You were very gentle when you were talking to him. My husband. Lu Shuang replied without thinking. Good throw. Shen Yi's face fell. She was still angry when she thought about it. She bit her lips as if she was punishing him. Lu Shuang was in pain and tried to push him away, but he couldn't. He let go of her, stared at her angry eyes, and kissed her again. This time, he didn't let go quickly, and he didn't enter her mouth. He was probably worried that her sharp tongue would block her lips and lick the place where she had bitten just now. Lu Shuang was almost out of breath from his kiss. She was angry, but she couldn't push him away, so she just stopped moving. He kissed her for more than 10 minutes before letting go of her. He said evilly, I don't mind telling your husband what we were doing just now. You seem to have had your 4th period, right? Lu Shuang slapped his face. It was a loud sound, and there were 3 fingerprints on his snow-white face. Shen Yiyan held her hand and pressed it on top of her head. He was at loggerheads. His trusted bodyguard was trembling in fear, and he didn't even dare to breathe. He locked his sharp eyes with her red eyes, and his aura weakened. He really couldn't stand her disappearing again. What if she disappeared and never came back again? He could only laugh so freely because of her. 5 times. Hit me again. Shen Yiyan let go of her hand. Lu Shuang didn't dare to hit him anymore, and he turned his face away. He had no choice but to get close to her back, hold her hand, and circle her in his arms. When it's just the 2 of us, I don't care what you do. But when we're outside, save me some face. We're all my subordinates. Shen Yiyan's subordinates, they were really blind. They really suspected that the person sitting behind them was a fake president. Their president was very powerful. He could take someone's life from 1,000 miles away with just a wave of his hand. He was wise, decisive, and unrivaled. This time, he was slapped in the face. Ugh. All right. No matter how powerful a man was, he would still kneel in front of a woman. Lu Shuang didn't say anything else. He kissed her cheek. Not satisfied with just one kiss, he kissed her a few more times. Lu Shuang was getting goosebumps from his kisses. She glanced at him and met his overly beautiful eyes. She sighed and said, I don't have a husband. I lied to you. Shen Yiyan's eyes flashed. It's okay. In the future, if you're going to get someone to be your fake husband, just tell me in advance. I'll make sure that person can't even be a fake. Lu Shuang, Shen Yiyan's subordinates, he was in a really good mood today when he saw her. She went to kiss him again. Lu Shuang pushed his face away in disdain. All right, I won't kiss you anymore. He held her hand and coaxed her. Lu Shuang felt that the temperature of his palms was too hot. It passed through her skin and into her blood, causing her nose to be covered in sweat. It was winter now. She really shouldn't have worn 2 layers of warm clothing. She pulled her hand away, and he took the opportunity to hold her arm again, hugging her in his arms. Sigh. She couldn't be bothered to move anymore. She wanted to be more stable. She leaned on him and just treated it as a comfortable pillow. After driving for half an hour, they arrived at his president's palace. This was her first time here. Chapter 546. Lu Shuang didn't want to think about her identity. She didn't want to be a mistress. Once she was done with what she had to do, she would leave and never return. Before the car entered the president's palace, the guards did a strict check. The president's palace was only as big as the manor she used to live in, but there were a few hundred times more people guarding it. The car passed by the shade of the trees and the lake before arriving at the entrance of the villa facing the lake. Shen Yiyan's servants were already waiting at the door to welcome them. There were 2 maids, 3 maids, a butler, 2 chefs, as well as his wife and her maids. When Lu Shuang saw his wife, he felt uneasy and guilty. She followed Shen Yiyan out of the car and tried to stand as far away from Shen Yiyan as she lowered her head. Thank you for your hard work, Hua Zixing said gently. Lu Shuang couldn't help but look at Hua Zixing again. She was very beautiful. Her face was small, and her facial features were deep. She was of mixed blood, and her skin was snow-white like pure snow. She had long, curly ebony hair, and a furry windbreaker draped over her. She wore a pink hand-carved long dress. Just by standing there, she was a beautiful scenery. She reminded her of Snow White from the fairy tales. She was so beautiful and elegant, so dignified and flawless. She felt that Shen Yan was wasting resources. He had such a beautiful wife and didn't know how to cherish her. If she was a man, she would definitely stay by such a beauty's side and not go anywhere else. It wasn't that she was belittling herself, but she felt that the girl was much prettier, more elegant and more luxurious than her. "Thank you for your hard work," Shen Yan said to Hua Zixing. Hua Zixing smiled. "It's nothing, it's what I should do." "Have you eaten?" "Yes," Shen Yan said. "Zixing, let me introduce someone to you." Lu Shuang was frightened. He didn't want to face his wife directly. He felt guilty for doing something bad. Shen Yan didn't give him a chance to escape. She held on to Lu Shuang's hand and walked out. "She's my classmate. She's here to be my personal assistant. Take care of her in the future." "Okay." Hua Zixing smiled at Lu Shuang gently and elegantly. Lu Shuang was in a trance for a moment. In the past, she thought that Bai Ye had the best temperament. Bai Ye's smile and frown were very polite, rational, generous, and never embarrassed others. She was gentle, elegant, dignified, and beautiful. Bai Ye was the role model that she had always dreamed of, but she had never been able to achieve it. She felt that the perfect Hua Zixing could only exist in the heavens. "Thank you," Lu Shuang said. Hua Zixing chuckled. "Come with me. I'll arrange a room for you and introduce you to others." "Oh." Lu Shuang followed Hua Zixing in. Downstairs is the living room, dining room, conference room, reception room. 2 maids, 2 chefs, and the butler live here. The second floor is the study room, gym, lounge, and Ian's assistant's room. Because I'm not in good health, Ian and I sleep in separate beds. Hua Zixing introduced. "You're not well?" "Why?" Lu Shuang was shocked. "Congenital heart disease. There are 2 guest rooms on the second floor. You can clean up one of them. You're Ian's assistant, I think this room is more suitable for you." Hua Zixing pushed open the door. Lu Shuang had a strange feeling in his heart. Such a beautiful girl actually had congenital heart disease. What a pity. There's a small door in this room that leads to Ian's room. It'll be more convenient for you to take care of him, Hua Zixing said gently. Lu Shuang felt very burdened. She trusted her so much but she acted like Shen Yan. "I'm sorry." "What?" Hua Zixing looked at Lu Shuang. Lu Shuang couldn't say it out loud. "Huh, it's nothing." Hua Zixing looked at him. "Are you apologizing to me because you'd become my husband's woman?" Lu Shuang didn't expect her to know about it. His face turned red. Hua Zixing laughed. "It's okay," I agreed. "I'm not well and I can't have sex. Before we got married, I told Shen Yan that our marriage is a political alliance. I'll help him stabilize his political power and he'll help my family stabilize their political power. He's a man after all, he needs a woman like that. He's not a eunuch, right? On the contrary, I'm very grateful to you for taking care of my husband." Why did Lu Shuang feel even more ashamed? What kind of woman was she to be able to tolerate this? Or was it that women raised by aristocrats were born to be magnanimous? She remembered that Shen Yan's father had an illicit relationship with Su Jiran's mother. She had to take a sip of wine to calm herself down and adjust her distorted worldview. "Anyway, I'm sorry," Lu Shuang said. "As long as you don't fight with me for the position of the president's wife, it'll be fine," Hua Zixing said jokingly. "I definitely won't. I'm not worthy. I feel like I'm an ugly duckling when I'm with you." "Shen Yan must be blind, hee hee," Lu Shuang said. This room is yours. I'll bring you to the 3rd floor. I like the 3rd floor a lot, Hua Zixing said. She pushed the door open when they reached the 3rd floor. Wow, it's so beautiful, Lu Shuang exclaimed. There were actually 4 floors. The 3rd and 4th floors were not separated. The 4th floor was a small room with a bed, a computer, and a television. When they pushed the door open, it was the 3rd floor. The 3rd floor was made of tempered glass. There were all sorts of blooming flowers. In this season, there were roses, lilies, and many other flowers that she didn't know the names of. There was a swing, a wooden table, and a tea set. It was an elegant antique style. It was like a paradise. Did you decorate this place? It's so dreamy, Lu Shuang exclaimed. She liked this place too. As long as she was a woman, she would like this place. Yeah, Shen Yan is a good person. He knows that I like flowers and plants, so he specially asked someone to make this garden in the sky. I like it a lot too. I usually read here, admire the flowers, and taste tea. There's also a balcony on the 4th floor. It's nicely decorated too. You can overlook the entire presidential mansion. It's more of a modern style, Hua Zixing explained. Sigh, Shen Yan is too fickle. Let me tell you, he had a bunch of girlfriends when he was in junior high, Lu Shuang said in disdain. It was a pity for Hua Zixing. If she was a man, she would be happy with Hua Zixing for the rest of her life without doing anything. My mother said that human nature is human nature. We can't change it, so we have to adapt. After all, my husband isn't an ordinary person. He has more temptations and he has more rights to enjoy them. If I'm unwilling, it will only make it harder for me to accept it. I'll be in an even more difficult situation. In fact, as long as I'm obedient, I'm still the most important person by his side. My value is much higher than those women, Hua Zixing said gently. He. Lu Shuang could only laugh. She would never be able to reach the state that Hua Zixing was in. In the future, when she got married, if her husband fooled around outside, she would ask him to scram. He could find whoever he wanted. She would rather not have such a scumbag. Hua Zixing's phone rang. Chapter 547. Her maid was watching her from upstairs. Lu Shuang looked around and sat down on a chair. The maid beside Hua Zixing said coldly, "This is our madam's favorite place to stay. She likes peace and quiet. If it's not necessary, I hope you won't disturb her peace and quiet." Oh. Lu Shuang stood up tactfully. Also, the owner of this house is my madam. I hope you will behave yourself and not break the rules of the servants. Madam is polite to you because of her self-restraint. If you take it as a blessing and think you're infallible, then you can only get out of here, the maid said rudely. Rules of the servants? She had a bad temper. Madam is a very good person, but everyone does it for the sake of work. If you're unhappy with work, you can leave and move to another place to continue working. Our country has abolished slavery a long time ago. There are no superiors and subordinates, he. The he at the end was purely to express her friendliness. He. Work? The maid twitched the corners of her mouth in disdain and said in a strange tone, "Your job is really a dream job." Lu Shuang was speechless. She smelled something unusual. Could it be that Hua Zixing couldn't have sex with men and wanted to give the maid to Shen Yan? Then she had really ruined someone else's plans. You can do it. You'll have a chance. There's plenty of time in the future. He, there's plenty of time in the future. She felt that the idiom, "there's plenty of time in the future," was appropriate here. She said with a smile, "Then I'll go down." The maid followed behind her jealously. She didn't see Shen Yan. She returned to her room and changed her clothes. When she went out, she saw Shen Yan coming out of the study with a bad expression. Hua Zixing said helplessly, "That's all I can do." Lu Shuang instinctively shrank back into his room and closed the door. He didn't want to be implicated. Shen Yiyan saw it and came to her door, knocking on it. Lu Shuang opened the door and poked his head out. He asked, "What's wrong?" "I'm going to work now. Do you want to come with me?" Shen Yiyan asked. He was going to work. What was she going to do? Lu Shuang thought for a moment. "Can I not go?" Shen Yiyan, he knew this would be the result. "Stay at home and don't go anywhere. Wait for me to come back." Lu Shuang thought about it again. "Then I'll go with you." There was a hint of a smile in his eyes as he stroked her head. "Go change your clothes, a trench coat, a suit or something. Something more serious. I'll wait for you." "Oh." Lu Shuang went in and closed the door. She tied her hair up on her head, changed into a gray windbreaker, and opened the door. Shen Yiyan had also changed into a black suit and a black windbreaker. Tall and straight, he looked dignified and handsome. The heavens had given this evildoer a handsome face. Fortunately, she knew his character too well. Otherwise, she wouldn't even know how she died. Shen Yiyan sat up straight and said seriously, "Our relationship isn't what you think it is. She doesn't want me as a husband, but the power behind me. We've already agreed before we got married. She won't stop me from being with the woman I like. I'll help her stabilize her family's power." "Power? Then did you help her stabilize her family's power?" Lu Shuang was puzzled. "Of course, her family's power is very stable now. Previously, Xing Buhua even wanted to marry her younger sister. This is enough to prove that her family's power is far above their opponents," Shen Yiyan explained. She didn't really understand politics, nor did she care about it. In fact, she didn't even have a complete plan when she came back. She was someone who lived on impulse. She was like that in the past, and she was still like that now. The night before she came back, she dreamt of her parents and Baya. Her parents said that they wanted to go back and be buried in their hometown. So, she brought her parents' ashes back. Actually, she had seen the person who fired the gun. That person was hiding in the car, but she saw him. She saw his face. She had seen him by Shen Yiyan's side before. He was Shen Yiyan's bodyguard. But she couldn't remember his name. She could only remember his face. Chapter 548. She heaved a sigh. When she was bored, she would read some novels, such as Rebirth or Revenge. The protagonist or heroine would make all kinds of elaborate schemes to slap the bad guys in the face and bring them to justice. Her blood would boil every time she read them. Now it was her turn, she couldn't think of a good way. When her mother died, she wanted to come back and kill Shen Yiyan. Her father took her away and told her a lot and analyzed a lot. Only then did she know that Shen Yiyan didn't do it. If Shen Yiyan wanted to do it, he would have done it long ago. "What are you sighing about?" Shen Yiyan asked. Lu Shuang looked at Shen Yiyan. It didn't matter that she was not smart enough. At least she was thick-skinned enough. "Shen Yiyan, if I find the murderer who killed my mother, will you help me?" Lu Shuang asked. Of course. Of course, will you help or won't you help?" She was doubtful. "I will." Shen Yiyan said one word clearly. If he helped her, she could stay by his side for a few more months. However, it felt like the heroine was trying to please the male protagonist for revenge. She shuddered. If Shen Yiyan was the male protagonist, she would just be cannon fodder. "Thank you." "No, you can't say thank you. If it weren't for you, my mother and father wouldn't have died. You should do it." Shen Yiyan looked at her with deep eyes and said seriously, "Yes, it's what I should do. This is what I owe you, so you have to remember to ask me for it for the rest of your life. Don't forget." Lu Shuang had a strange feeling in her heart. If she remembered it for the rest of her life, wouldn't she be entangled with him? Although she wasn't smart, she knew her limits. His world was too complicated. She didn't want to get involved. She just wanted to avenge her mother, find a job as a doctor, sing with a group of friends, surf the internet, eat, chat, and travel. Oh, yes, that guy seemed to like her. He even cooked for her. When her father was sick, he helped her take care of him. She felt that it wasn't a bad idea. After she completed her mission, she would go back to Country D and observe him. If he needed to be good, he should be good, hee. Lu Shuang looked out of the window and carried her onto his body. Lu Shuang frowned. Shen Yan, you're asking for it. Do you really want to be suppressed? Shen Yan smiled. Yes, I can always be suppressed by you. I will allow it. She smelled something dirty and was not happy to acknowledge him. He hugged her even tighter, afraid that he would lose her. He really wanted to keep her in his pocket and carry her with him all the time, watching over her. Lu Shuang followed him to the building where he worked. The security was even stricter than that of the presidential palace. Wait in my office for a while. You can use my computer. The password is your birthday, Shen Yan said. My birthday? Lu Shuang was suspicious and said in disbelief, Shen Yan, do you really like me? Shen Yan was helpless. Which eye of yours saw that I don't like you? Lu Shuang gestured with 2 fingers. 2 eyes. Dig them out then. There's no point in keeping them, Shen Yan said coldly. Lu Shuang shuddered. What happened to liking her? He turned around and walked out, as though he was angry and cold. She was really worried that he would get someone to dig her eyes out. She hid under the table for a while, but no one came. Annoyed, she stood up and kicked the chair. Back then, she was considered a heroine. Why did she become more and more timid? Sitting on the chair, she glanced at his table. It was really clean and spotless. She turned on his computer and entered her birthday. Oh, it was true. Shen Yan must have done this on purpose. Was he trying to trick her into liking him? She opened QQ and found Angelica. His profile picture was black. She left a message for him. I'm sorry. I lost my phone. I have to buy a new one and apply for my old number. What's your number? I'll call you when I get there. I'm already at the airport. I'll reach Country A tomorrow. Angelica's profile picture lit up. Ah, you're coming to Country A too? Country A and Country D aren't on good terms. Are you here to invest? Lu Shuang was confused. I'm here to look for my girlfriend who ran away. Lu Shuang paused. She just realized that he might like her. So he had a girlfriend. She was thinking too much again. She had to change this habit of hers. Oh, good luck then. I will. Lu Shuang felt that there was no need to chat anymore. After all, she was already taken. He sent her his number. A thought flashed through her mind. He couldn't be referring to her when he said that his girlfriend ran away. That couldn't be right. When did she become his girlfriend? So, he wasn't looking for her. She turned on the video and watched a movie. In the meeting room next door. Shen Yan, don't forget that you and I are in the same boat. If I sink, you won't be far away. If the lips are gone, the teeth will be cold. I believe you understand this better than I do, Xing Dongqing said angrily. Of course I understand. We've always been on the same boat. I'm not stupid. But given the current situation, even if I wanted to protect you, I wouldn't be able to. Why don't you keep a low profile and bide your time? After all, you're only 30 years old. You'll have plenty of opportunities in the future. If you can't bear it, you'll ruin your plans, Shen Yan advised. I'm going to kill that B*TCH, Baya. Xing Dongqing gritted his teeth. Killing her is easier than killing an ant. I've killed so many elites in your hands. The question is it worth it? Shen Yan said in a low voice. What do you mean? I've known Baya for a long time. She's a meticulous person who studies psychology. She has great patience and a high IQ. Maybe she's already prepared a trap and is waiting for you to enter. The more difficult the situation is, the more you have to be patient. You know this. The more violent you are, the more likely you are to make mistakes. You've been too hot-tempered recently, which gave Baya the chance to take advantage of it. That's why Baya took advantage of it. When you regain power, it'll be the day she loses, Shen Yiyan advised. Shen Dongqing took a deep breath and thought for a while. He agreed with Shen Yiyan. Then what do you think I should do? Don't let those who follow you get into trouble again. Train some of your own confidants. Oh right, have you checked on Xing Buhua? Shen Yiyan asked suspiciously. I've checked. I've got someone at Xing Shang's place. They've confirmed that there's nothing wrong with him. I've also compared his DNA with Song Shiyu's. He's not a direct descendant, Xing Dongqing said. The two of them are too similar, except for their personalities. He appeared just after Gu Lingxing's death. We have to be careful. Shen Yiyan frowned. There's no problem. I'm sure of it, Xing Dongqing said. Well, the people on the internet are denouncing you. Don't run away or suppress them. Reply to them directly and express your 100% sincerity. This way, there'll be more room for you to recover in the future. Then, ask the team to help you clear your name. Alright, that's it for now. I'll let Baya go for now, Xing Dongqing said angrily. A dim light flashed in Shen Yiyan's eyes. Chapter 549. He had just returned to his office when his phone rang. He saw that it was Baya's call. He glanced at Lu Shuang and walked out of his office. He entered the meeting room next door and answered the call. What's wrong? Give me Lu Shuang's phone number, Baya said anxiously. He had already guessed what her motive was. Baya, you should focus on your own matters. You're pregnant now and shouldn't be overworked. Don't worry about Lu Shuang's matter. I've told you before that I love her. I'm more worried about her safety than you are, Shen Yiyan said in a deep voice. She was very serious and did not allow anyone to resist. If you're worried about her safety, you shouldn't contact her anymore. Are you going to give it to me or not? Baya said forcefully. Since she's already the target, do you think it's safer to leave her outside or with me? It's safer with me, Baya blurted out. Her purpose of coming back is to find the person who killed her mother. Do you think she'll stay with you and do nothing? Besides, according to her straightforward character, if she wanted to contact you, she would have done it long ago. She wouldn't have waited until now. Baya, don't do anything unnecessary. I can promise you that as long as I'm alive, I won't let her do anything. I have something to do. Also, be careful of Xing Buhua. Shen Yiyan said and hung up the phone. Baya was anxious, worried and angry. Her people could protect Lu Shuang secretly, but Shen Yiyan was really ruthless. She found a group of people and took Lu Shuang away. Madam, what should we do now? Lin Shulan asked Baya. Baya took a deep breath and called Shen Yiyan again. What now? Shen Yiyan was impatient. I'll send someone to protect Lu Shuang. Otherwise, I won't be at ease, Baya requested. Okay. Besides, you've achieved your goal. Xing Dongqing will resign from his position today. Enough is enough. Even a rabbit will bite when it's anxious, not to mention Xing Dongqing. I can protect you now, but I can't protect you forever, Shen Yiyan said. I know what I'm doing. I hope you understand what you're doing too. I'll hang up first. I'll call you after I find someone who can protect Lu Shuang. Baya said and hung up the phone. Shen Yiyan put away the phone and walked into his office. Lu Shuang was playing her game and glanced at him. She thought. She saw him coming and going, so she said. Bai Shen to Shuang. Bai was the Shen. Bye bye, bye bye bye, bye Baya said. She didn't know many secrets. Her mother and father were dead. She didn't dare to listen to secrets. Ian walked behind her, put his hand on the back of the chair and looked at the computer. You're playing dressing up. Are you retarded? You're afraid that I'll infect you. Stay away from me, Lu Shuang said lazily and glanced at him. You want to use the computer? It's okay. You can play. Tell me if you like any outfit. I'll get someone to make it for you, Ian said. He sat down opposite her with a stack of documents. Lu Shuang looked at him. He was focused on the documents. He was quite handsome when he was serious. She remembered that he was the language class representative in junior high. She asked him to hand in his homework, but he never did. She was so angry that she almost cried. Later, she thought of an idea. She did 2 copies of the homework, one with his name and the other with her name. He didn't have to ask for homework from her. The teacher would criticize him. Since when did a rebellious student become a good student? And she had long forgotten to settle down and study in her impetuous life. She sighed, held her chin and looked at him. He looked up at her. What's wrong? Are you bored? Ian, when are you going to parade? Lu Shuang asked tentatively. I can arrange it. Tell my assistant. He will inform me when the time is ready. But there are many troops now. It will take some time to parade them one by one. Do you want to see me parade? Ian could tell what she was thinking. Lu Shuang nodded. Don't you have a trusted aide? That formless thing, I can see that, right? Invisible. It's not open to the public. Ian explained. What if I want to see it? Lu Shuang asked tentatively. She didn't have much hope. Okay, I can arrange it privately. Just be obedient, Ian said helplessly. Lu Shuang didn't expect him to suddenly agree. She smiled and praised him. You're quite reliable. I'll give you the computer. Give it to me. What are you doing? He was afraid that she would be bored. I'm playing with my phone. I realize that mobile games nowadays are very fun. She stood up. She remembered that she played computer games because she didn't have a phone. Ian had no choice but to pass his phone to her. Play with mine first. Don't play with it. Don't give me a virus. Lu Shuang took her phone. I don't go on pornographic websites. Where would I get a virus? She lay down on the sofa. Ian turned around and looked at her. What brand of phone do you like? Apple? Or Blass? Apple. I used it before. It doesn't lag much when I play games, Lu Shuang said. Ian dialed the intercom. Help me prepare 2 Apple phones. It's best if you can get my card back, Lu Shuang reminded her. Prepare a new card and top up 10,000 yuan, Ian said. Lu Shuang frowned and sat up. I want my card, not a new card. Ian hung up the phone and said domineeringly, I don't think you need to contact anyone else other than me. Since those people are in your past, they won't appear in your future. Heh. Lu Shuang put on a fake smile and gave her a perfunctory reply. She needed him to take revenge now, so she put up with it for now. In the future, she didn't have any plans for him. She downloaded Hank the dog and played for a while. She was a little tired, so she closed her eyes and fell asleep after a while. Ian looked at her, picked up his coat from the hanger and covered her with it. She was still fast asleep. He returned to the chair and started to work. He had never felt so calm when he was working. He felt that with her around, his heart was full and even the efficiency of his work increased. The phone rang. Ian didn't have time to turn off the sound and walk to her. Lu Shuang thought it was her phone and answered it in a daze. Baiya's voice came from the other side of the phone. My people have already gone to the President Palace. They will arrive at about 8 p.m. Please make the arrangements. Also, don't tell Lu Shuang that he is my man. Chapter 550. Shen Yiyan glanced at the caller ID. It was Bai Ya. He looked at Lu Shuang with pity in his eyes and said in a low voice, "What's wrong?" "There was something wrong with my phone just now, so I didn't hear it. I was wondering why I didn't hear anything. My people have already gone to the President Palace and will arrive at around 8. Make the arrangements and don't let Lu Shuang know," Bai Ya said again. Shen Yiyan was still looking at Lu Shuang. She lowered her eyes and seemed to be thinking about something. "Got it. That's all for now. I'll contact you later." He hung up the phone, sat next to Lu Shuang and held her hand. Lu Shuang subconsciously withdrew her hand, her eyes slightly red. Every time she heard the name Bai Ya, saw Bai Ya, or heard Bai Ya's voice, she would think of the day her mother died. She really couldn't forgive her. When an enemy and a friend did the same thing, the friend would bring more than 10 times the harm. Shen Yiyan took a deep breath. "To be honest, Bai Ya cares about you a lot. She told me your whereabouts because she thought I loved you and could give you happiness. She felt guilty when something happened to you." Lu Shuang's lips twitched. "She's always like this. She doesn't tell me anything, even about myself. She helps you secretly. Does she treat me as a friend or you as a friend? If she treats me as a friend, why didn't she tell me in advance and understand my wishes? I don't think this is friendship. I think it's more like she's controlling me. I don't want this favor from her." She said it resolutely, her eyes flowing with coldness. The current Bai Ya is no longer the Bai Ya of the past. In the past, Bai Ya had nothing and was at most an ordinary person with a decent job. But now, after Gu Lingqing died, she has Gu Lingqing's power. You know her character. No one can stop her from doing what she wants to do. Moreover, it's good to have one more person to protect you. Just pretend that you don't know anything and let me make the arrangements, Shen Yiyan advised. "I don't want it. Give me the phone." Lu Shuang reached out to Shen Yiyan. "Xiao Shuang, don't be impulsive. You should think about yourself first. Shen Yiyan, do you want to live a happy life for 50 years, or do you want to live a painful life for 100 years? Lu Shuang asked angrily. It's impossible for a person to be happy for 50 years, and it's impossible for a person to be in pain for 100 years. This is the reality. Lu Shuang stood up from the sofa. "Are you giving it to me or not? Don't be stubborn. I'm not being willful. I'm accepting benefits from her. I feel sorry for my mother. You don't understand. If you don't want to give it to me, forget it. I'll talk to her myself." Lu Shuang walked towards the door. Shen Yiyan hugged her. In fact, he understood that Lu Shuang blamed Bai Ya and him at the same time. She only wanted revenge, so she had no choice but to stay by his side. "I'll give it to you." Lu Shuang looked at him. "What do you want?" "As long as you don't leave me, I'll give it to you," Shen Yiyan said in a low voice. He picked up the phone box on the table and handed it to him. "Your new phone. There's my phone number and Bai Ya's in it. I'll help you enter it." Lu Shuang stared at him. He was such a calculative person. He seemed to be able to control people's minds and predict the future. Lu Shuang grabbed the phone box from his hand and took it out. He asked suspiciously, "You didn't install any surveillance cameras in it, did you? What are you afraid that I'll monitor?" Shen Yiyan asked in return. Lu Shuang understood what he was implying. He frowned and looked unhappy. "So you let it go, right?" "No." Shen Yiyan said in a deep voice, "In the future, you'll go wherever I go. I don't need to do anything unnecessary." Lu Shuang didn't seem to believe him. Love can only last long if you keep the right distance. If you stick to each other every day, you'll die quickly. After she finished speaking, she didn't look at Shen Yiyan. She didn't care about his expression. She turned around and called Bai Ya directly. "Hello? Baiya's voice came from the other end of the phone. I'm Lu Shuang. I heard your call with Shenian. Thank you for your kindness, but I don't need it, Lu Shuang said coldly. Shuang, you don't know how dangerous it is to stay by Shenian's side. The person who wants to assassinate you is by Shenian's side. Do you think you can take revenge by coming back alone? I'll help you. I have the ability to help you now, Baiya said anxiously. Do you still remember the time when you were in love with Gu Lingqing? I was worried that something would happen to you. I was worried that Gu Lingqing's side would deal with you. How did you treat me? What did you say to me? Huh? Lu Shuang asked coldly. Baiya pursed her lips and didn't say anything. You forced me. You said that if I told Gu Lingqing, I wouldn't be your friend anymore. You even disappeared from my side for 3 years because of this. You treated our friendship coldly on purpose. Lu Shuang thought about the past and felt quite sad. How heartless and forgetful she was at that time. She was heartless and didn't hold grudges. She was lively and cheerful. In the end, it was because of her parents' protection. She grew up in a harmonious family. Her parents loved her and kept her away from troubles. She actually left her parents for Baiya and became enemies with them for 2 years. In the end, her parents let bygones be bygones and gave up everything to follow her. But she killed her parents and the person who loved her the most in the world. She couldn't forgive Baiya. She couldn't forgive Shenian. Similarly, she couldn't forgive herself. That's because I don't want to implicate you, Baiya explained. Lu Shuang's eyes were red. Aren't you a psychology major? I remember you said before that when you love someone, you shouldn't do things for his own good. You should do what he wants you to do. When I think of you and the people related to you, I think of how you killed my mother. I also think of my stupidity in the past. You saved me back then, so I don't want to deal with you. But please leave my life, because I will never forgive you. Baiya felt as if a knife had pierced into her heart. Lu Shuang said that she saved her. In fact, she was saved by Lu Shuang. It was Lu Shuang who sacrificed his family and love to save her. She didn't expect Lu Shuang's forgiveness. She just wanted Lu Shuang to be safe and happy. She sobbed and said, "Let me help you." I'll say it again. I don't need it. Your so-called help will only make me feel guilty. It will only make me feel guilty to my parents. It will only make me have nightmares. Please leave my life, Lu Shuang said firmly. Baiya cried and couldn't say anything. She just waited for Lu Shuang to hang up the phone. She leaned her head on the desk and cried. She thought of how she and Lu Shuang supported each other in the hospital. She thought of how Lu Shuang helped her to deal with Su Jiran. She thought of how Lu Shuang tried his best to help her. She thought of all the things that happened between them. She was so sad. Chapter 551. Xing Buhua's voice was heard, full of concern. Baiya hugged his waist, buried her face in his body, and sobbed. Xing Buhua's eyes were full of pity, and a complicated look flashed through them. He put his hand on Baiya's shoulder, trying to give her warmth. Xiaoya, if there's anything you're unhappy about, you can tell me. I'll always be by your side and protect you, even if... Xing Buhua paused and didn't continue. But Baiya was buried in his body, and didn't see the abnormality in his eyes. She sobbed and said, "We must protect Lu Shuang, okay? I can't let her be in danger again." Xing Buhua sat down next to her and held her in his arms. "Whatever you say. Don't be sad, you're pregnant. In fact, you should know that it's useless to be sad, and it's useless to be sad. It's good for your body to vent your emotions, but it's harmful to your body if you're too emotional. Okay." Baiya took a few deep breaths and looked at him. Her eyes were red, and tears were still hanging on her eyelids. He wiped them away with his thumb, and smiled gently. "I've got the results of the test," Baiya said. "Are you relieved now?" Xing Buhua said with a smile. Baya looked into his eyes, took another deep breath, and calmed herself down. Seeing her serious look, Xing Buhua couldn't help but feel nervous. I know that Lu Shuang came back to take revenge. She suspects that the person who killed her mother was someone close to Shen Yiyan. The person who tried to assassinate her was Shen Yiyan's man, who has been brought to justice by Shen Yiyan. But there should be others, and they should be from the leadership. Lu Shuang is too straightforward. She shows everything on her face, and says what she thinks. She doesn't know how to pretend, and she's just. Maybe it's because she's been well protected since she was a child, she's not scheming. She does things impulsively, and she doesn't think about the consequences. How is she going to fight against those cunning old foxes? Baya said worriedly. Xing Buhua heaved a sigh of relief. So this was what she was talking about. I will arrange for my men to enter the President Palace as guards to protect her. Xing Buhua said. It's best if she has someone by her side to guide her. Once she goes down the wrong path, she won't be able to turn back. Baya was worried. I have a suitable candidate in mind. I will try my best to arrange for him to go to the presidential palace. However, the presidential palace is not easy to get close to. Shen Yiyan is more cautious than Xing Dongsheng, and he can keep his composure. Baya nodded. Thank you. Xing Buhua rubbed her head. There's no need for thanks between us. It's my pet phrase. Even my husband has to say thank you, explained Baya. He laughed and looked at the 5 boxes of papers on the floor. These are all for you to mark. There's too much, and you're pregnant. Tell me, how should the results be calculated, and I'll sort them out for you. You just went to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, and you're already busy enough. Anyway, I have nothing to do these days. I'll mark these papers slowly. There will be a time when they're done. I'm already here. Am I supposed to watch you work while I sleep? Xing Buhua said gently. Well, that's fine. I'll tell you how to grade them. This is based on the overall score of the 20 questions. Choice A is 5 points, Choice B is 4 points, Choice C is 3 points, Choice D is 2 points, and the rest is 1 point. There are a total of 100 points. Below 60 is the first level, 60 to 80 is the first level, and 80 to 90 is the second level. Between 90 and 90 is the first level, explained Baya, pointing at the 4th level in front of her. Okay. Let's work together. Xing Buhua moved a chair and sat opposite her. Baya glanced at him, and he was very focused on the papers. He and her Gu Lingqing had the same eyebrows, the same deep-set eyes, the same fine nose, the same lips, and the same good-looking face. At least, she still had Gu Lingqing. And Lu Shuang, Baya's eyes dimmed, and her heart ached. She knew it was useless to be sad, but she could not control her heart. She lowered her head and focused on marking the papers. Knock, knock, knock. There was a knock on the door. Xing Buhua was alert. He put the papers away and hid them. Baya went to open the door. Lin Shulan stood outside the door and reported to Baya happily, Madam, you did it. Now Xing Dongqing has taken the initiative to resign, and now he's saying that he's sorry to the public. Baya twitched the corner of her mouth, and said knowingly, he wants to clear his name? Ah. Clear his name? Then what should we do? Lin Shulan asked. Let him clear his name. My goal was to make him resign. Tomorrow, there will be a good show. Shulan, I'm having hot pot at the embassy in Seattle tonight. Help me prepare. Baya suddenly changed the topic. Lin Shulan paused, and then smiled. I'll prepare. We should celebrate. Baya did not say it out loud. She believed that Lin Shulan already knew. She closed the door and locked it. She picked up the phone on the desk and made a call. Tomorrow is the weekend. The photos I gave you will be sent out at 10 a.m. tomorrow. I want to be the headline of all the websites and apps at 12 a.m. I want to be the headline of all the websites and apps. Is that okay with you? No problem. Also, everyone has been working hard recently. It's going to be the new year soon, and I can see that many of you are not local. Give everyone a 28-day holiday, but arrange for people to be on duty. Also, how's the new website going? Baya asked. The new website has taken shape, but it still needs to be tested and typeset. It should be ready before the new year. As for the reporters, there are not many people who quit at the end of the year. They are all preparing to get their year-end bonuses first. After the new year, there should be many reporters jumping ship. I've contacted a few headhunters, Du Xinbo reported. Thank you for your hard work. Don't miss out on any of the bonuses. Let me know how much you need, Baya said generously. Okay. Thank you, boss. Bye. I'll get to work first. Okay. Baya hung up the phone. Xing Buhua was already standing in front of her, looking at her deeply. He had never seen a woman who exuded such charm even when she was working. She looked gentle and beautiful. When she smiled, she was as gentle as water. She was unwavering in love, but she was also very brave and clever. She did things with ease. She could not be said to be strong, but she was definitely the most tenacious. That was why he could be sure that she was the one he wanted with just one look. In fact, she had appeared in his dreams a long time ago. What's wrong? Is there something on my face? Baya covered her face suspiciously. Xing Buhua held her face and kissed her forehead. I really want to look at you like this. Baya burst out laughing. Don't eat, don't sleep. What if you get tired of looking at me? I won't get tired of looking at you. He looked at her with infatuation. Chapter 552. Xing Buhua stared at her. Mom went to M country because our goods were replaced by someone else. I'm worried that someone is deliberately targeting goods, so I asked Mom to give up some foreign industries that she's not confident in and focus on charity, Baya said. Your worry is not unnecessary. Besides, my mom is old and you're pregnant. Too much work will only be a burden. We don't care about money. Just do what you want. I'll support whatever decision you make, Xing Buhua said softly. Charity is also to lay the foundation for you to be the president, but... Baya was a little worried and paused. But what? Xing Buhua asked. I'm afraid that we'll become the next Shenao. For the sake of complicated interests, we'll sacrifice our personality, conscience, and life. Gu Lingqing, if you take revenge, in fact, what's the point of being the president? With so many people staring at you and so many annoying things, no matter how powerful you are, when you die, can you not be lonely? Can you not feel lonely? Baya asked. Xing Buhua pursed his lips and said nothing. Life is only a few decades, 120 years at most. Our family is together, and we're happy every day. We travel around the world, see the scenery of the world, eat the food of the world, give birth to many, many children, give birth to many more children. When we die, all we can remember is happiness and warmth in our hearts. I'm happy, and my heart is warm. Isn't that good? Baya said with red eyes. Xing Buhua raised the corner of his mouth. In the past, he had his ambitions and aspirations. A soldier who didn't want to be a general was not a good soldier, and a politician who didn't want to be the president was not a good politician either. But she was right. So what if he became the president? He had made many enemies and was watched by others. Once he fell, everyone would give him a push when he was down. Even if he died, just like Shen Ao, many people were sad. Most of them were thinking about their own interests. It would be better to be with her every day and live a happy life without worries. All they had to do was raise their child. Okay, I promise you. It's just for revenge. After I've avenged my parents, I'll take you to travel around the world. We'll have as many children as a football team. In the future, we'll help them choose husbands and wives. Xing Buhua agreed. Baiya smiled. We still have to do charity. After all, we are shouldering too many killings. Xing Buhua patted her head. She was also very kind and not greedy. Although he appeared late, his luck was still good, wasn't it? Okay, I'll listen to you. Xing Buhua said dotingly. Now, let's mark the papers together. Xing Buhua nodded. Do you think it's better to score high or low? You won't be able to see any problems from just one test paper, because many people have very high EQ and IQ. Those who are able to infiltrate the military base should also have studied psychology, and they can even answer better than others. So, I designed 10 sets of psychological test papers for cold sale, and then combined all the tests. Then, I'll analyze the people who might have problems and conduct a simulation test, Baiya said. Simulation test? This is a popular test overseas. It's not based on theory but on behavior. A lot of behavior is based on the subconscious. This simulation will stimulate the subconscious so that people can't think and react immediately. Or, it will require a long time to think. It's a test of humanity, character, and motivation. Simply put, it's like a drill. But the people being tested won't know that it's a drill, Baiya explained. I understand. Talk to Ling Shua when the time comes. I hope we can find the spy in your military. But there's a margin for error. Even if we make a mistake, we have to find Xing Dongqing's men. Otherwise, they'll be a scourge. Baiya felt guilty. She realized the sorrow of being a leader. Sometimes, for the sake of the whole, she had to sacrifice some people's personal interests. She felt sorry for those who had been sacrificed, but she had to do it. She was worried that after being a leader for so long, after killing so many people, her heart would become cold and cruel. You've worked hard, Xing Buhua said, looking at her. She lowered her head and looked at the papers seriously. She was shrouded in sadness. She was so beautiful. He really liked her. He liked her so much that he would rather lie to her than let go. He also hoped that someone could protect her and continue to love her, didn't he? But, Xing Buhua didn't want to think about it anymore. He lowered his head and corrected the papers with her. Asterisk in the car. Lu Shuang leaned on the window sill and looked at the scenery outside. She had been away for half a year. Many shops had disappeared, and many more had appeared. She remembered when she was young, she wanted to become a house. She thought that a house could stay in its original place forever. Only when she grew up did she realize that the life of a house was at most 70 years. It was even more fragile than a human's life. Children were really naive and had the least worries. She passed by 2 children playing with each other. She really wanted to return to that innocent age. Shen Yiyan's phone rang, interrupting Lu Shuang's wild thoughts. She looked at Shen Yiyan. His brows were slightly furrowed, and there was a layer of harshness and firmness on his face. What's wrong? Shen Yiyan asked. Shen Tong, Jiang Yi bought a ticket to a land. He'll arrive in a land tomorrow. Him? Why would he come to a land? Shen Yiyan was surprised. I don't know. He disappeared for a year and suddenly reappeared. He came to a land as soon as he appeared. I also felt that it was suspicious, so I reported it to you immediately. I got it. Contact Invisible and follow him. He's Jiang Xingyu's second-in-command. He won't come to a land for no reason, Shen Yiyan ordered. Yes, I know what to do. Shen Yiyan hung up. Hey, Shen Yiyan, can you avoid me when you answer the phone or make a call in the future? You know that I don't have any good points, except that I have a big mouth. If you tell me any secrets, I won't be able to keep them. If you don't guard against me, don't blame me for not keeping secrets in the future. Lu Shuang reminded her. Shen Yiyan smiled happily. He liked her straightforwardness. So, after they separated in high school, he had never forgotten her. That day, When he knew that her father was going to introduce a boyfriend to her, he came immediately. He knew that although he had brought a lot of people with him that day and pretended to be arrogant, he was actually doing it for her. I don't know what's so funny. You're retarded, Lu Shuang said disdainfully and rolled his eyes at him. Shen Yiyan held her in his arms and kissed her. There it was again. It was too sticky. He kissed her and... Chapter 553. Lu Shuang pushed his chest and changed the topic. Well, Shen Yiyan, when are you going to have the parade? Have you arranged it? I have told them. They will report to me when they are ready. There will be a foreign ambassador coming tomorrow night and I need to receive him. Shen Yiyan said. Will you show them the national treasure of our country? Lu Shuang thought of something and smiled. Yes, what are you thinking about? Look at you. Shen Yiyan was curious. Every time she smiled like this, it was when she started to be mischievous. Previously, there was an American president who went to Japan. The Japanese also showed him their national treasure, which was sumo wrestling. In the end, after watching for 4 hours, the two wrestlers were still hugging each other. The entire process was very boring and there was not a single bit of excitement. If you have a grudge against the foreign ambassador, then this is it. If you have a grudge against that foreign ambassador, you can arrange it. Lu Shuang grinned. Shen Yiyan also smiled. You are so creative. You can arrange the foreign ambassadors when they come in the future. Okay? I can give you the job of the director of the cultural center in a land. The director has to work. Give me the job of the deputy director. I just get paid and don't have to work. Don't I give you enough money? I checked your card last time. There is 6.5 billion in it. You are not short of money. Shen Yiyan said. Lu Shuang blinked his eyes. He spat. She was the legal representative of Shen Yiyan's company in Country X. The money was indeed transferred to her account. However, she did not know the number of the card or the password. She wanted to check it but did not have the authority. She did not have the authority for her own card. But thinking that it was not her own money, she did not care about it. How could he bring it up? Then, can you give me the card? Lu Shuang asked without any expectations. I will give it all to you when we get married. Shen Yiyan promised. Lu Shuang sneered. He was flattering her again. Would he get a divorce? It was impossible. She understood very well. Men were all the same. Everyone wanted to be like Wei Xiaobao. The red flag at home did not fall, and the colorful flags fluttered outside. Furthermore, they were all capable and could help him. What was the difference between this and selling themselves? Besides, was she the kind of person who would marry for money? She rolled her eyes at him and ignored him. She logged into her QQ and saw that Angelica had left quite a few messages for her. What's wrong? Are you ignoring me again? What should I do with you? I'm taking off. See you tomorrow. See you tomorrow? All right, seeing that he had taken good care of her in Country D, she would do her best as a host. Shen Yiyan, I have something to do tomorrow, Lu Shuang said. What's the matter? Shen Yiyan looked at her. I don't have to report everything to you. Lu Shuang was displeased. Shen Yiyan's eyes darkened. In the past, he still had Xiaobao, so he could keep her. Therefore, he was at ease to let her go out to play. He knew that she couldn't fly far. Now that Xiaobao had hidden her, he was really afraid that she would casually fly away. You don't want revenge anymore? Shen Yiyan asked. You haven't arranged the parade yet, have you? Lu Shuang asked back. So, you think that your time is free, right? Shen Yiyan's voice turned cold. Am I not free? Lu Shuang was nervous and scared. It's not that you don't have freedom, but it will be very dangerous. Those who want to kill you and those who killed your mother are all watching you. Whenever you are alone, it may be the best time for them to take action. So, it's better for you to stay by my side, understand? Shen Yan said righteously. Said. I came back last night. Nothing happened to me, right? That's because no one knew that you were back. I only found out today. But now, many people know that you are back. Don't run around. Where do you want to go? I will accompany you tomorrow. Shen Yan said in a gentle tone. Lu Shuang stared at Shen Yan, thinking about his words, and looked a little uncomfortable. Shen Yan knew that he had scared her, so he put his arm around her shoulder. All right, when we find the people who want to kill you, you will be safe. Lu Shuang pushed him away. Piggy. Shen Yan called her helplessly. Lu Shuang looked out of the window. Who did she offend? It seemed that since she met him 5 years ago, nothing good had happened to her. Seeing that she was ignoring him, Shen Yan took the initiative to approach her and held her shoulder. She looked at his fair and slender hand, which was still wearing the same diamond ring as Hua Zixing's on the ring finger. She had a strange feeling of discomfort in her heart. Forget it, for the sake of revenge, she would bear with it. I have a friend coming tomorrow, and I want to see him. Can you send someone to protect me? Lu Shuang said softly. Is it a man or a woman? Shen Yan asked. A man. Lu Shuang said frankly. Shen Yan's heart skipped a beat, and his face darkened. I am free tomorrow, and I will accompany you to see him. It is not appropriate. You are the president, and I am at most your assistant. You are a married man, and you are the president of a married man. What will the media say if they are photographed accompanying a young assistant to meet a friend? I remember that you have been doing a lot of things recently. Do you not want to be the president anymore? Lu Shuang said bluntly. Shen Yan knocked her head. Lu Shuang was in pain, so he pushed her hard. Shen Yan was annoyed when she pushed him away. He frowned and said, Isn't it good for me to accompany you? Or do you think that I will be a hindrance to you? Why don't you have the self-awareness of being a husband every time? Is it appropriate for you to do this? Also, he is the person I like, of course I am afraid that you will be a hindrance to us. Lu Shuang provoked and raised his voice. Shen Yan was so angry that she wanted to eat her up. She held her chin and said, I have explained to you that there is only an agreement between Hua Zixing and me, and we are not husband and wife. Do you really want to anger me to death? I don't even have the freedom to make friends. Lu Shuang was angry. That depends on what kind of friends you have. You don't even have the self-awareness of whose woman you are. How can I let you be a cuckold outside? Lu Shuang pushed his hand away. What cuckold? I think it is anyone's man who doesn't have the self-awareness. You and I can only be considered a casual relationship, not even a boyfriend and girlfriend. A casual relationship, right? It seems that you still don't understand it. Shen Yan said with reddened eyes. His whole body was enveloped in coldness. He twitched the corner of his mouth, which made one feel a little scared. Wait until you understand it clearly, then come and talk to me about the conditions. Who wanted to talk to him? Lu Shuang turned his face away and crossed his arms in front of his chest angrily. What would happen when a couple quarreled? A cold war, a breakup, and each living their own lives. At most, they would not contact each other. They could travel, read books, listen to music, play games, and meet up with friends to forget the hurt they had caused. Gradually, the hurt would fade, and they could start a new life. However, she had forgotten that Shen Yan was not an ordinary person. Lu Shuang only knew that this man was different from ordinary people after he was sent to the secret room. Chapter 554. Lu Shuang was infuriated, kicking the door in a frenzy. She was infuriated, baffled, and unable to accept it. Was Shen Yan crazy? Was he crazy? Why did he lock her up in a dark, enclosed space? What right did he have? What right did he have? She was trembling with anger. It had been the same in the past, forcing her to give birth to his child, forcing her to have sex with him, forcing her not to run away. It was still the same now. She had freedom, she respected freedom, she was her own, not anyone else's. Ah! Lu Shuang was about to explode. The entire corridor was filled with her cries. At midnight, Shen Ian finished work and called Colonel Cheng. How is she? Did she say she wanted to see me? Colonel Cheng had a troubled look on his face. No. Keep her locked up until she begs for mercy. Shen Ian was really angry and hung up. Hua Zixing came over with a glass of milk and said gently, "It's time to rest. It's already midnight, your body is your own." Shen Ian replied indifferently. He and Hua Zixing treated each other like guests. To him, they were just temporary guests. Where's Xiao Shuang? You haven't asked her to come out yet? Hua Zixing looked around. She should be suppressed, or she's too arrogant. Shen Ian didn't hide his anger. That's enough. She's a little girl after all. It's inevitable to be willful, as long as it's not a big deal, Hua Zixing advised. A little girl? She'll be 30 after the new year. She's a few months older than me. Shen Ian was annoyed. Hua Zixing smiled. She's a girl after all. It's dark and cold in that secret room. She'll be afraid. Afraid? You're underestimating her. She's not afraid of anything in my eyes. She has to be suppressed, or she'll tear the sky apart. She has no self-awareness at all. Shen Ian thought about how she said she loved another man, and he lost his rationality. He was always calm and collected, but every time he met her, he couldn't calm down. She's just used to being free. She'll get better in the future. She hasn't eaten dinner yet. The moment you came here, you suppressed her. How sad must she be? Hua Zihua advised gently. I know what I'm doing. I've already asked someone to send her dinner. There's nothing I can do if she doesn't want to eat. I've also sent her a blanket. If she doesn't know how to judge the situation, she'll be the one to suffer in the future. She only knows how to argue with me every day. She doesn't know who's good and who's bad and who's good to her. Yi Yen frowned. Hua Zixing was still smiling, like a spring breeze. She will understand in the future. Take it slow. Haste makes waste. I know what to do. It's too late. Go back and rest. Do you want me to persuade her? After all, it's easier for women to communicate with each other, Hua Zixing said gently. She must be tired from all that. Let's talk about it tomorrow, Shen Ian said in a low voice. All right. You should rest early after drinking the milk. Hua Zixing didn't force her. She turned around and went back to her room. Shen Ian glanced at the milk inside. He thought about how angry she would be. She would probably want to kill him. He couldn't help but feel sorry for her. He went to the secret room. Hua Zixing's room, madam, I don't understand. Why are you still speaking up for that vixen? Gong Nanua said angrily. Hua Zifeng calmly took off her outer jacket. A willful woman can get a man's love for a while, but not for a lifetime. There will always be times when a man is tired and irritated. A woman who is intelligent, generous, and considerate is a good partner that a man will choose for a lifetime. Without comparison, how can the heart be cold? I understand. That woman will definitely be hated by the president soon. After all, he's only in his 20s. I wonder which one he really needs, Hua Zixing said confidently. Shen Ian arrived at the door of the secret room and looked at Colonel Cheng. She's asleep? Colonel Cheng nodded. Open it, Shen Ian ordered. Lu Shuang was so tired that he had fallen asleep. When he heard the sound, he opened his eyes alertly. He sat up on the bed and looked at the door. A dim light shone in. Shen Ian stood in the light with his hands behind his back. He was full of the majesty of a king. Have you thought it through? Lu Shuang jumped off the bed and said angrily, Shen Yiyan, I'm not your prisoner. I didn't do anything wrong. You can't do this to me. Didn't do anything wrong? You're my woman now. You told me that you're going to see another man, and the man you love. Do you think you didn't do anything wrong? Shen Yiyan frowned. Illness comes from the mouth, and disaster comes from the mouth. Don't talk nonsense. Haven't you learned it? Lu Shuang looked at him sharply. So, are you suppressing me, warning me, or using force to enslave me? I want you to understand who I am to you and whose woman you are. If you don't understand this, you'll stay here forever, Shen Yiyan said firmly. Lu Shuang's lips curled into a sarcastic smile as he hid in the darkness. This was Shen Yiyan. He was arrogant, wild, arrogant, conceited, and self-centered. He was a tyrant in name only. If he didn't want to hear it, he could use punishment to shut people up. She shouldn't have been so impulsive. She shouldn't have challenged his authority. He wasn't the man who loved her. He couldn't tolerate her willfulness, arrogance, impudence, and unreasonable behavior. The man who loved her had died in Country D. There was no one by her side to guide her. She wouldn't be able to live on if she just relied on her passion and impulsiveness. She didn't want to stay here forever. After she got her revenge, she could go back to Country D with peace of mind and pursue her freedom and her life. I was wrong. Lu Shuang said confidently. He clenched his fists so tightly that the veins on the back of his hands were popping out. Shen Yiyan paused. She didn't expect him to admit his mistake so quickly. She used to treat the wrong as the right and keep going. It seemed that Lu Shuang, who had been through a lot of changes, was growing up. What did you do wrong? Shen Yiyan's voice softened. I have a bad temper. I'm too arrogant and I talk nonsense. The person I'm going to meet tomorrow is not the person I love. I'm just saying it casually. It's just an uncle who used to take care of me. Lu Shuang said simply. More, the main point. Shen Yiyan stared at him. I'm your woman, okay? Lu Shuang said perfunctorily. Shen Yiyan frowned. Watch your tone. Tears welled up in Lu Shuang's eyes. He had to watch his tone. Being in the king's company was like living with a tiger. If his tone was not good, he would be killed. Chapter 555. She really wanted to go back to 5 years ago. At that time, her father was still the director of the hospital, and she was the most powerful person in the hospital. She wanted to stay with her parents, and she would not rent a house to live alone and pursue the so-called freedom. Shen Yiyan saw her lowering her head and sinking into sadness, and his heart also became sad. She must miss her parents. He walked towards her, knowing that he had gone too far by locking her in the little dark room today, but he was worried that Lu Shuang would easily walk away according to his unruly character. He held her hand, which was cold. He put her hand under his clothes and put it on his warm stomach. Lu Shuang wanted to pull her hand out, but he was afraid that he would be imprisoned here for the rest of his life. Anyway, his stomach was warm, and she felt very cold. It was not her who wanted to cover his stomach, but him who covered it for her. She looked up at him. The strength in Shen Yiyan's body dissipated. Under the dim light, his entire person became much gentler, like a jade tree under the cool breeze and bright moon. Lu Shuang calmed down. Shen Yiyan's beauty was very attractive, and it was indeed pleasing to the eye. Are you hungry? Shen Yiyan asked. Lu Shuang shook his head. You are still angry with me. Shen Yiyan looked at her helplessly. Angry? She was angry because no one had taught her. But when she thought that no one had taught her, she could not be as willful as before, because no one would care about her anymore. She needed to care about herself. I want to eat roast chicken, roast duck, roast fish, roast shrimp, roast beef, braised pork knuckle, and hot pot, Lu Shuang said with red eyes. It's not good for your health to eat such greasy food at night. Don't worry about getting fat. Shen Yiyan took her hand and walked away. Then what are you going to give me? Lu Shuang asked weakly. Okay, I'll satisfy you, but we need to disguise ourselves, or we will be recognized by others, Shen Yiyan said, smiling at her. What was so funny? She didn't feel happy at all. Don't try to seduce me. You can beat me at my own game. I don't mind, Shen Yiyan said jokingly. Lu Shuang pursed his lips. He wanted to laugh, but then he remembered that they were still arguing, so he held it in. I don't want to reject anyone. Shen Yiyan tightened his grip. Do you think I'm dead? Didn't you ask me to beat you at your own game? Lu Shuang asked back. Looking at Shen Yiyan's defeated look, he felt a little better, and the corners of his mouth curled up slightly. He also knew that she was just saying it to satisfy her cravings. If she was lustful, he would not let her have the guts to do so. Who would dare to provoke her? Had they forgotten about his ability to pluck peach blossoms? However, seeing that she was in a good mood, he let her go and didn't try to argue anymore. Midnight he took her to a buffet for supper with Colonel Cheng by his side. Colonel Cheng was worried to death. No one recognized him, but Shen Yiyan was different. He appeared on TV every other day and was the youngest and most handsome president of a land. His appearance alone had won him a large number of fans. Shen Yiyan only changed into an ordinary down jacket, a cap, and a mask. So did Lu Shuang. They were wearing a couple's down jacket, a couple's cap, and a couple's mask. Excuse me, can I eat without taking off my mask? Colonel Cheng's heart was broken. They sat at the last table. Shen Yiyan and Lu Shuang sat at the last table, facing inside. Colonel Cheng was in charge of getting their food. Shen Yiyan held her hand tightly while eating. Excuse me, how can I eat when you hold my hand? Lu Shuang turned to look at Shen Yiyan and said. Shen Yiyan picked up a piece of beef with the other hand and brought it to her mouth, coaxing, ah. Lu Shuang opened his mouth and ate it. He stared at her with displeasure in his eyes. He was using his right hand and holding her right hand with his left. She was not left-handed, so how could she pick up food? The more she thought about it, the angrier she became. But she was also a little scared. When Shen Yiyan went crazy, even a lunatic would be scared. Let's change seats, Lu Shuang said. Ha! Shen Yiyan chuckled. What was he laughing at? Even if he was good-looking, she still wanted to beat him up. Fortunately, he agreed and swapped places with her. A sly look flashed in her eyes and her left hand held his right hand. Darling, I will always hold your hand, okay? Shen Yiyan looked at her bright and beautiful face. It was exactly the same as before. She looked cheerful but full of evil ideas. He liked her little tricks. He thought that she was smart, but in the end, it was all written on her face. At first, she was angry at him and said that she loved another man. Although he locked her up, he was still in a bad mood and almost did not eat dinner. But now, his appetite was much better. He did not let her retreat. His right hand held her left hand tightly, as if he was holding happiness in his hands. He grabbed the fork and forked something to eat. Lu Shuang looked at him. Why wasn't this guy sullen? She picked up the beef balls from the hot pot. The beef balls were very slippery and difficult to pick up. She liked to see him make a fool of himself. This is delicious. Do you want to eat it? Lu Shuang asked with a smile. Yeah. Shen Yiyan leaned toward her and opened his mouth. Lu Shuang quickly stuffed it into his mouth and said with a muffled voice, You fork it yourself. He looked at her bulging cheeks. He had never paid attention to the way she ate. She was different from the ladies from the prestigious families that he had interacted with. He wanted to kiss her so badly. His Adam's apple bobbed up and down. He wanted to eat her up and keep her warm in his body every day. He forked a beef ball and put it into his mouth. That posture was noble and elegant. He was unhappy that there was nothing wrong with him. Thinking about it, in the past, she was still his classmate, and everyone was equal. She was even his class representative. Why was she always a little higher than him? Now, she clearly felt what was a commoner and what was a prince. Shen, when you were young, did you ever think that you would be the president? Lu Shuang asked curiously. When I was young, I knew that I would be the president in the future. I had this goal since I was in primary school, Shen said seriously. Then why aren't you handing in your homework? Lu Shuang said in disdain. Shen laughed. Don't I have you? Hee hee. Lu Shuang rolled his eyes. So he knew how hard it was for her to do 2 sets of homework every day. Well, President, put on a mask. Colonel Cheng saw a man walking over and said to Shen Yi. Shen Yi put on the mask defensively and turned her face inside. Excuse me, are you Lu Shuang? The man asked. Lu Shuang looked at him and sized up the handsome man in front of him. He felt that he looked familiar, but he couldn't remember where he had seen him. However, he looked quite handsome. He was wearing a white high-collared sweater. His skin was snow white, and his short hair was clean. He even wore an earring. Could he be an idol? Chapter 556. Hello. Lu Shuang greeted her. Shen Yi held Lu Shuang's hand tightly, as if she didn't like her sweet tone. Ha ha ha, what a coincidence to meet you here. I've inquired about you before. I heard that you are a doctor in the military, the man said warmly. Lu Shuang was sure that he knew her. It was very novel. Although he didn't recognize her, she pretended to be familiar with him and looked behind her. Are you here to have hot pot with your friends? I'm working overtime. There are several colleagues in the company, so we are here to have supper together. The man explained. What do you do now? Lu Shuang was a talkative person, and he had something to talk about with everyone. Shen Yi felt that it was enough, so she held Lu Shuang's hand tightly again. I work in IT, and I have a good studio. She noticed that there was a strange man beside Lu Shuang, who was wearing a cap and a mask. It was quite strange that he was still wearing a cap and a mask in a hot pot restaurant. Is he your boyfriend? Lu Shuang saw the surprise in his eyes. She didn't want to be seen eating hot pot with the president. Many celebrities could have a lot of romantic stories when they ate hot pot. She didn't want to find something to do, so she explained, no, one of my patients has been in a bad mood recently. He has. Lu Shuang pointed at his brain. He has trypophobia, and he doesn't like to see people or be seen by others. Ha ha ha, I see. Well, is it convenient for you to give me your phone number? The man asked. Oh. Lu Shuang didn't think much about it. She was looking for her bag. Shen Yi looked at Lu Shuang with a gloomy face and said, it's not convenient for her. Lu Shuang remembered that she didn't bring her bag and her phone was in her bag, so it was not inconvenient for her. I'm sorry, I forgot to bring my phone. It's okay. The man handed over his business card. Contact me when you are free, and we can get together. Oh. Lu Shuang took his business card. Seeing the name, he remembered who he was. He was the one she had said she wanted to get into high school with when they were in junior high. He was the one she had feelings for in junior high. However, she didn't know why he fell sick and didn't even take the high school entrance exam with her. She didn't expect that he would become so handsome, start a company, and take the initiative to look for her. Hee hee, her market has improved again. Before she could feel proud of herself, Shen Yi snatched the business card from her hands. With a dark face, he threw the business card into the bin and looked at her sharply. Although she wasn't smart, she still had good eyesight. This guy is angry again. It wasn't natural for him to be jealous. Men were always like that. Once they were in bed, they would think that it was his. She had never felt that she belonged to him. His wife was as beautiful as a fairy. Moreover, in her impression, Shen Yi was a playboy. Why didn't he reflect on himself? She pretended not to see his anger and continued to eat. Colonel Cheng, let's go. Shen Yiyan said in a low voice and walked in front. Lu Shuang thought about it. Since he was full, he followed behind Shen Yiyan. Colonel Cheng was at the bottom. When Lu Shuang went out, Shen Yiyan had already opened the car door and was standing beside it coldly. She got into the car. Colonel Cheng heaved a sigh of relief. Finally, he was safe. To be on the safe side, he checked the surveillance cameras to make sure that no one was following them and that no one was taking pictures. His phone rang. It was from Shen Yiyan. Deal with it. Don't let there be any future trouble. Just tell them that she's married, Shen Yiyan ordered. Colonel Cheng understood. He walked to the man and nodded with a smile. My wife said that she's sorry that she didn't treat you to her wedding. She'll treat you to a full moon party next time. The man, so she's married. That's right. How could she not be married? I got it. Tell her that I'll definitely go back. The man was free and easy. After all, he was not invested in it. Lu Shuang was full. He leaned against the chair and did not want to move. Tomorrow, should she meet Jiang Yi or not? He looked at Shen Yiyan. His face was dark and cold. He tightened his jaw and suppressed his anger. Hey, Shen Yiyan. Lu Shuang called him. He looked at her unhappily. She felt that it was not good for him to be angry. I don't even know that person. I pretended to know him, Lu Shuang explained. You gave him your phone number if you didn't know him? Shen Yiyan frowned. He found that since she ran away half a year ago, he loved her even more. He could not let the possibility of losing her exist. He was determined not to let it happen. Am I stupid? I know I didn't bring my phone with me. I don't remember his phone number. I have to pretend to be friendly so that I won't be embarrassed, right? You don't have to be friendly to a man you don't know. It doesn't matter if he's embarrassed. We won't meet again anyway, Shen Yiyan said coldly. Got it. I'll be careful next time. I won't give my phone number to any superstar in the future. Okay? Lu Shuang promised. Shen Yiyan saw that she was obedient. She said earnestly, You're going to be my wife in the future. I'm not restricting your right to make friends. But that man obviously wants to pursue you. You don't have to care about him. Do you understand? Lu Shuang thought of Shen Yiyan's wife, Hua Zixing. That girl looked soft and weak, like a fairy. He felt that she was a little pitiful. If you marry me, what will happen to your wife? Lu Shuang was puzzled. It's stated in our agreement that we will be married for 4 years. She will help me stabilize my position and I will help her stabilize her family's position. After 4 years, I will arrange for her to leave. She has a man she likes. She told me herself. Shen Yiyan explained. She felt guilty towards his wife. She felt ashamed of what she did. But after hearing what Shen Yiyan said, she felt much better. She did not feel that she was stealing someone's love. Who does she like? I think the person she likes must be very happy. Your wife is so beautiful that I want to turn gay. Shen Yiyan looked at her in disdain. Do you have a straight one? A crafty glint flashed across Lu Shuang's eyes as she waved at him. Shen Yiyan's face turned green and white. He leaned over and kissed her on the lips. Lu Shuang was shocked and pushed him away. He held her hand and asked, Who do you think is prettier? Me or Hua Zixing? Lu Shuang was speechless. This guy, don't tell me he's even jealous of women. She was just talking nonsense. Wasn't it just a joke? How could he take it seriously? You. A wise man submits to circumstances. She would definitely say him in front of him. Both husband and wife were beautiful in their own way. One was as gentle as water, while the other was seductive. One was beautiful enough to topple a country, while the other could turn all living things upside down. Chapter 557. Lu Shuang felt that he was an extroverted person. He was able to crack all kinds of jokes without feeling awkward or reserved. But Shen Yiyan was like this. Colonel Cheng was still driving in the driver's seat. She was so thick-skinned, but now she was blushing. Her palms were burning hot, as if she was holding a cigarette butt. She wanted to pull her hand away, but he pressed it down. Shen Yiyan, Lu Shuang called out in a coquettish tone. Huh? It's not like you haven't done it before. Have you forgotten that you used to? Before he could finish, she was too embarrassed and annoyed, so she simply covered his mouth to stop him from continuing. Shen Yiyan liked it when she took the initiative to kiss him. He changed from being passive to taking the initiative. He pressed the back of her head, and his red tongue entered her mouth. He swallowed her breath, and all of it entered his body. He could not stop kissing her. Shen Yiyan did not hide his desire, and his breathing became heavier and heavier. Lu Shuang did not want to admit it, but this guy's kissing skills were too good. They had a lot of common memories. He was her first and only man, and she had been in a relationship with him for a long time. Although she had no choice but to be with him, and she also felt aggrieved, she still had to live on. She would just treat it as if she had been with a high-class celebrity for a long time. His looks and skills were considered rare treasures. Moreover, he would always consider her. In this aspect, they were quite compatible. She was already at the age of maturity, and she had experienced what she needed to experience. Didn't they say that one would be like a wolf at 30? Many of the reactions of the body followed the rules of nature. She was very hot from his kiss, and she moved back. Shen Yiyan, let's go back. Let's go back. Shen Yiyan did not let go of her, and he went even further. He unbuckled the buckle on her back. Shen Yiyan. Lu Shuang raised his voice. Your men are still watching. If you do not do the right thing, your subordinates will do the wrong thing. Shen Yiyan, Colonel Cheng, he just couldn't help it. Besides, he didn't want to show his woman to others. He was sure that Colonel Cheng couldn't see her. Got it. He released her. Lu Shuang fastened the buckle on his back. His face was strangely red, hidden in the darkness. He could ask Colonel Cheng to get out of the car and continue. Besides, he thought. But seeing that she was a little angry, he still held back. The foreign ambassador will come tomorrow night. I have time tomorrow at noon. I can accompany you to meet your friend at noon. Shen Yiyan took the initiative to propose. It's just a meeting between commoners. We'll just have a casual meal and take him for a stroll. With your appearance, it feels like there's a huge commotion. With so many soldiers, my friend will be scared to death. So you want to go by yourself? Shen Yiyan asked, his eyebrows slightly furrowed. Lu Shuang didn't want to cause more trouble, so he took the initiative to hold his arm and said coquettishly, Shen Yiyan, you're the best, right? If you're photographed, it'll be hard for you to explain. I'm doing this for your own good, right? There's still a long way to go. There was still a long way to go. Why did she use this idiom again? Shen Yiyan looked at her and thought that she was a little weird. He knew that she had ulterior motives, which was why she was acting coquettishly and sucking up to him. But he liked it. When he heard her soft and numb tone, he also became charming. Call me hubby. Lu Shuang, this girl, she was asking for a mile after being given an inch. If she called him hubby, it would be too shameless. He had a wife at home. Kiss. Lu Shuang only said one word. Obviously, Shen Yiyan felt that it wouldn't work. Nowadays, people were calling for kisses everywhere on the internet, even people they didn't know. Darling. Lu Shuang added a few more words. Shen Yiyan still wasn't satisfied. Didn't kiss and darling mean the same thing? She was treating him as a stranger. Don't you know what to call me? Shen Yiyan reminded him. Lu Shuang pursed his lips. I'm just worried that I'll make you sound old, right? Really? His lips curled up. I think you don't want to go out tomorrow. Lu Shuang had no choice but to kiss him on the cheek. Well, I'm not used to it. After all, you have a wife. She's at most my business partner. I've made it very clear to you, Shen Yan explained. But it's legal. You know, I hate mistresses the most. I've already made an exception for you. It's not right for a dove to take over a magpie's nest. No, it's not right for a dove to take over a magpie's nest. Lu Shuang couldn't think of a more appropriate idiom. He paused for a moment, but still couldn't remember. Shen Yan looked at him patiently. It's quite shameless for me to call you husband when your wife is still here. Lu Shuang said it straightforwardly. He didn't think of an idiom to express it. He understood what she meant. I got it. My men will protect you secretly tomorrow. Don't do anything out of line. Shen Yan agreed. Lu Shuang heaved a sigh of relief. Don't forget about the military parade. Okay, we should be able to set the time on Monday, Shen Yan replied. Lu Shuang retracted his hand, shifted his butt, and looked out of the window with his back facing her. Without her in his arms, he felt a little cold. He hugged her shoulders and leaned against him. Lu Shuang was too lazy to struggle. He closed his eyes and fell asleep. She knew that the car had stopped, but she was too lazy to wake up. Soon, they arrived at the President Palace. He got out of the car first. Lu Shuang opened his eyes. Do you want me to carry you? Shen Yan asked. She felt that it was not good to be too overboard. Showing off their affection in front of his wife would hurt her. Although it was just an agreement, it was not good. No need. She pushed open the door on the other side and came down. The wind blew. It was very cold. She ran in with her neck shrunk. When she returned to her room, she looked at the time. Damn, it was already 2:00. She went into the bathroom to take a shower. Just as she was standing under the tap, Shen Yan pushed open the door and came in with his clothes. Doesn't your room have a bathroom too? Lu Shuang asked unhappily. Of course it's to wash with you. Shen Yan said matter-of-factly. He took off his clothes and hugged her slender waist. The feeling was really different from before. In the past, after she gave birth, she was a little chubby and soft like cotton. Now, he could feel her bones, but he still liked her. He liked her no matter what she looked like. Lu Shuang felt that he had come back to life. He pressed against her stomach. His eyes did not hide his desire and infatuation. The temperature in the bathroom rose instantly. Lu Shuang knew that he wanted to continue what he had not finished in the car. But she had already passed the impulsive stage. Now that the temperature had cooled down, she did not want it anymore. She took a step back. It's late. This night carried a hint of rejection. Chapter 558. Don't you want to work all day? Lu Shuang teased him. Shen Yan smiled. I want to work all day too. Firstly, my body can't do it. Secondly, I don't have a partner when you're not around. If you're around, I'm afraid you won't be able to take it. Lu Shuang paused. He understood what he meant. This guy was driving again. She grabbed the tap and splashed it on his face. Shen Yan hugged her and kissed her. Lu Shuang treated the water faucet as a weapon, charging at him. Shen Yan wasn't annoyed or stopped her. He held her breasts with both hands and sucked them into his mouth, just like a baby. Lu Shuang, Shen Yan, your brain must be filled with sex. She continued to kiss him. He was annoyed and snatched the tap away. Stop fooling around. She wanted to cry. She hadn't been fooling around. She had rejected him seriously. He didn't give her a chance to turn on the tap again. He carried her to the bed. She was much lighter than before. His heart ached a little. He had spent so much effort to take care of himself. But after going out for half a year, he came back as a bag of bones. Luckily, he was back. Lu Shuang pushed him. Water. I'm still wet. He parted her breasts and said meaningfully, yeah, I can see that. Lu Shuang, she grabbed the pillow and threw it at him. He hugged the pillow and placed it under her waist. He quickly took off his clothes and kissed her lips. His hand moved down her waist and found it easily. Lu Shuang thought of a story he had read before. There was a little girl who had never eaten a cake before. One day, she ate it. Although she was terrified before, after eating it, she realized that the taste of the cake was extremely delicious. When she was hungry, there was cake to eat. Hence, when she was hungry in the future, she would crave for cake. When she was hungry, she would crave the cake even though she knew it belonged to someone else. When someone gave her cake, she would eat it even though she knew she shouldn't eat it. Sometimes, human nature was like this. It took a lot of effort and determination to resist beautiful things, but it was very easy not to resist. She had always been a casual person. She felt that she might be Uncle Lu's IQ. It was easy for her to find a comfortable way to convince herself to live a carefree life. The cake made by Shen Yan was exquisite, unique, and unparalleled. He had been eating it for 2 years. If he didn't eat it now, he would be too pretentious and pretentious. When the overwhelming number of cakes assaulted her, she was dazed. Her mind was in a whirl, and her thoughts were no longer clear. She opened her mouth and bit his shoulder. Shen Yan looked at her in his arms. He liked her. She was by his side. He allowed her to bite him to the extreme. When she woke up, it was already 11:15. F***ck, what happened to meeting a friend? She was harassed by Shen Yan until 4:00 in the morning. Only when he was comfortable could she sleep well. Shen Yan was so unrestrained. In ancient times, she would also be unrestrained. If it became a habit, it was really, she was annoyed, distressed, and annoyed. She didn't brush her teeth or wash her face. She reflected for a while before picking up her phone to check the number Jiang Yi had sent her. She called him. Hello. Jiang Ye's voice came from the other end of the phone. It was a penetrating and mature voice. It was a voice that gave people a sense of security. He was the male god that she had taken a liking to and wanted to develop. Alright, there was probably no chance. She was already having sex with Shen Yan. How annoying. However, even if there was no hope, they would still be friends. Moreover, the other party did not know about her evil thoughts. Thank God for giving her a brain full of hair. In addition to concealing her plain IQ, it also concealed her fantasies. I'm sorry. I just woke up, Lu Shuang said apologetically. Jiang Yi chuckled. I guessed it. You didn't reply to me yesterday. I went to play games yesterday and fell asleep after playing for a while. I'm sorry. Where are you now? Lu Shuang asked. He lifted the quilt, got up, and walked to the bathroom. International Hotel in City A. Are you coming out? Of course, I am indebted to you for taking care of me when I was in D country. Maybe in the future, I will continue to rely on your help in D country. We are good neighbors. Now that you have come to my country, I will definitely treat you well. By the way, have you found the girlfriend that you said ran away? Why is she in country A? I have never seen you with a girlfriend before. Hee, Lu Shuang said with a smile. There was a moment of silence on Jiang Ye's end. She guessed that he hadn't found his girlfriend and was gossiping. Send me your room number. I will be there in an hour. Lu Shuang hung up to avoid embarrassment. Sigh. She sighed, looked at herself in the mirror, and brushed her teeth. When she was in high school, she had a crush on a handsome boy with good grades in her class. Whenever that boy looked at her, she would have a lot of pink bubbles popping out of her head. Especially if they met on the road by chance, she felt that it was fate that was destined by the heavens. In the end, she didn't manage to wait for her fate. She was drowned in the endless examination papers. After that, the boy got into the best university. She thickened her skin and asked for his phone number and QQ. In the end, he didn't even need them anymore. He had long forgotten her in the long river of history. But it didn't matter to her. Anyway, she had forgotten his appearance. After she went to university, her career started to improve. Because she wasn't serious about love, she just fooled around. Before she had enough fun, God sent the devil, Shanian. Now, she had passed the ignorant age of high school, which was full of fantasy and infinite possibilities. She was more mature and rational when it came to love. As she grew older, she became more and more cautious. Moreover, her past was not very upright, especially when she had been the woman behind Shanian's back for 2 years. She knew that Jiang Yi might be very suitable for her, so she didn't dare to act rashly. Chasing after someone, chasing after a celebrity, these kinds of things were done when one was young and invincible. Now, one was old. She brushed her eyes and washed her face. She didn't look too good. Women, after all, always wanted to be beautiful when they went out. She put on her exquisite makeup and chose a red dress with a pair of fluffy red short hair. She let her hair down and looked pretty good. She opened the door and realized that Shanian wasn't there. She ran outside in her high heels. "Why are you running?" Shanian opened the door of the study and looked at her with his arms crossed. Lu Shuang turned to look at him. "It's almost midnight. I won't make it. Of course I have to run." Shanian stared at her exquisite makeup. His eyes turned cold and his pupils contracted. His face was tense. "Lu Shuang, you're almost 30. Is it appropriate to dress like a little girl?" "There's no little girl here." Lu Shuang was speechless. Chapter 559. I won't make it in time. She was implying that she was not going to wash her face. So what if you can't make it in time? It's not like she's someone important. Your important person is standing right in front of you, Shanian said firmly. Lu Shuang did not move. She did not want to remove her makeup. Women were most afraid of removing makeup. "You're not going to wash it, right?" "Auntie and I, help her wash her face," Shanian ordered. Seeing that Auntie and I was walking towards her, Lu Shuang said helplessly, "I'll wash it, I'm done, right?" She went back into the washroom, applied some makeup remover and washed her face. The more she thought about it, the angrier she got. How could Shanian do this? She had always wanted to look good. Which girl didn't want to look good, especially as she grew older? She could just bring her makeup and put it on when she went out. Smart. She continued to wash her face with water. Feeling someone behind her, she wiped her face with a towel and looked at Shanian behind her. "Are you done?" "Clothes. Wear the down jacket from last night." "It's cold outside," Shanian said domineeringly. Lu Shuang resisted the urge to roll her eyes, picked up the down jacket and put it on. Shanian's gaze was fixed on her, judging her. "Looks like you didn't lock you up for long enough yesterday. Who doesn't dress up when they see their friends? You forced me to go out with no makeup on. I've already removed my makeup. What else do you want?" Shanian looked at her for a while, glanced at the door and said, "Go out." She walked past him. Shanian's car was already outside the door. He ordered his men to send her away. She was wearing high heels and was unhappy. She walked all the way to the door and got into his car. He sighed helplessly as he watched her go out. Why was he so worried? It was as if she would fly away at any moment. Nangong Yu stood at the window on the 3rd floor and watched for a while before reporting to Hua Zixing, "Women are most afraid of removing makeup. The president is really ruthless. He made her remove her makeup and go out. This woman is only a so-so." Hua Zixing arranged the flowers calmly. "She was released by Shanian last night. Do you think that's all? She only woke up after 11 in the morning. The President Palace's soundproofing is not bad, but when they put away their clothes in the morning, they were all wet, very wet. This vixen is quite skilled in seducing men. Nan Gongyu said angrily. Hua Zixing had already calmed down. Shen Yiyan asked her to remove her makeup because she wanted to meet a friend. Nan Gongyu understood what he meant and asked in shock, "Are you saying that the president is jealous? They look alike, don't they?" Hua Zixing smiled at Nan Gongyu. "Then what should we do?" Nan Gongyu asked worriedly. She only returned to the country to avoid being exposed. Shen Yiyan hasn't seen her for a long time, so he naturally dotes on her. If you want to be friends with her, it's best to make her trust you. Hua Zixing picked up the vase and said with satisfaction, "Flowers have to be controlled and not be allowed to grow as it pleases." I understand. Hua Zixing put down the vase. "There's a foreign envoy coming today. On Sunday, I'll arrange for the envoy's wife to come over for dinner. This envoy's wife is colorblind, and she's allergic to perfume." Lu Shuang used perfume, right? "Yes, I know what to do." Nan Gongyu's eyes flashed with malice. "It seems that you still don't understand. Don't cause trouble. Remind her not to use perfume. Tell her that the envoy's wife is colorblind, and to avoid sensitive topics," Hua Zixing said. "Why?" Nan Gongyu was puzzled. "Isn't it a good opportunity to set her up and chase her out?" Hua Zixing chuckled. When she laughed, she looked dignified. "Can you set her up better than Shen Yiyan?" Shen Yiyan doesn't say anything, but he can control everyone in the palm of his hand. There are many things that he won't say, but he'll do it. The more you set her up, the more Shen Yiyan's heart will ache for her. Take care of her. Nan Gongyu felt that Hua Zixing's words made sense. "Then, what should we do to chase her out of here?" Nan Gongyu lowered her head. "I've been here for 2 years, and the president hasn't even touched my hand. Madam, you promised me that the Nangong family will help the Hua family." "Yes. Haste makes waste. What I want is mental oppression. In the future, there will be no more Lu Shuang. After all, Shen Yiyan is a hot-blooded man. If he needs a woman, I'll make arrangements," Hua Zixing said confidently and smiled. Nan Gongyu believed that her intelligent madam would help her pave the way. The noisy Lu Shuang was a far cry from her elegant and intelligent madam. Lu Shuang, who was a far cry from her, sneezed 3 times in a row. CK, who was talking about her. She rubbed her nose. They had arrived at the International Hotel. She alighted from the car and went to the washroom. When she reached the washroom, she took off her down jacket and looked like a brave woman again. She put on makeup in the washroom and looked much more pleasing to the eye. She placed the down jacket in the crook of her arm and went to the door of Jiang Ye's room. She pressed the doorbell. Jiang Yi opened the door and smiled. He called out in a familiar voice, "Little girl." Lu Shuang smiled back. He was only 35 years old this year, 6 years older than her. From the moment they met, he had been calling her little girl. She liked it when he called her little girl. Although it felt like they were a generation apart, it made her feel warm. He was tall and strong. He only wore a white shirt, which showed off his strong muscles. He had a cool and tangible Beckham hairstyle. He looked handsome and trendy. She felt that he should be the most handsome among the uncles. He was also the youngest among the uncles. Although he was not as handsome as the young male idols, he was manly. His facial features were handsome, and he had a sense of maturity and freedom. He was completely different from the coquettish and charming man Shen Yiyan. "I'm sorry, I'm a little late. Have you eaten?" Lu Shuang asked as he entered his room. "As long as you are willing to come, it's never too late. You said that you came to find me. I was so happy that I didn't go out. I was afraid that you would come when I went out," Jiang Yi explained. "I didn't have any either. What a coincidence." Let me take you to eat the authentic dishes of City A. I remember that you can't eat spicy food, right? Put on some thick clothes. It's quite cold outside, Lu Shuang said as he put on the down jacket in his hand. It was too inconvenient to carry it. Jiang Yi put on a suit, a windbreaker, and a scarf. Why did you suddenly leave? I came to find you to exercise, but you were not here. I dreamed of my parents. They wanted to come back, so I put them in the cemetery yesterday, Lu Shuang explained. Seeing that he was dressed, he opened the door. Chapter 560. Lu Shuang had always been careless. He didn't see the gift bag in Jiang Ye's hand and asked in surprise, haven't you been to a land before? But how can you speak the language of us so fluently? Oh, by the way, is your girlfriend from a land? My mother is from a land. Jiang Yi explained. What a coincidence. So is my mother. Ha ha ha. Jiang Yi was amused by her. What a coincidence. I also have 2 eyes and a nose. Ha ha ha, you're so funny. How long are you going to stay in a city? Lu Shuang asked casually and pressed the button of the elevator. I'll leave after I get my girlfriend, Jiang Yi said in a deep voice. With your appearance, ability, and character, you will definitely be able to get your girlfriend. Don't worry. I'm here to see you. I won't delay you, will I? Lu Shuang said apologetically. Her cell phone rang. There were only 3 people who knew her number. She saw it was Shen Yiyan. She thought for a moment and answered. I'm already here. Just now, your subordinates should have told you, right? Do you know who Jiang Yi is? Shen Yiyan asked angrily. She could feel through the phone that his anger was about to burn her here. She was confused and asked, what's wrong? I've arranged a car for you downstairs. Find a reason to come back. Shen Yiyan ordered him directly. I don't think that's a good idea. I just met my friend. Lu Shuang refused. Don't force me. Shen Yiyan was very domineering. Lu Shuang pursed his lips and didn't say anything. Shen Yiyan hung up the phone. What's wrong? Jiang Yi asked. Lu Shuang didn't know what was wrong with Shen Yiyan. He had a bad feeling in his heart. I'm sorry. I have something urgent to do. I have to leave now. I can't accompany you for dinner and shopping. I'll contact you later. What happened? Is there anything I can do for you? Jiang Yi asked. Lu Shuang shook his head and shrugged. Ding. The elevator chimed. Lu Shuang turned around and was about to enter the elevator. Jiang Yi held her arm and said seriously, Girl, I'm afraid that I'll miss you if I don't come. I'm also afraid that I'll lose you if I confess my love. Can you tell me if my hope is above or below 10%? Jiang Yi asked, his eyes shining. She. Lu Shuang paused for a moment and stood rooted to the ground. For a moment, he could not come to his senses. Did he mean to confess to her? He was right. The girlfriend who ran away was her. When did I become your girlfriend? Lu Shuang said whatever was on his mind. No matter how mature Jiang Yi was, no matter how good his mental fortitude was, he didn't expect to be rejected in such a straightforward manner. He still remembered seeing a man come to her house to give her a car. She stood at the door with her hands on her hips, looking very tough. She asked with a smile, How did you get here? The man said, I drove here. He thought that she would let the man in, and then the man and the woman have a passionate, hearty time. He had known her for 2 months at that time and had a good impression of her, so he felt a little jealous. He heard her say lazily, Get lost the way you came. Also, don't park your car in front of my house, or I'll get the traffic police to tow it away. He laughed at that time. She was like that, straightforward and decisive. If she didn't like someone, then she didn't like him. She wouldn't move for money, and she wouldn't find a random man just because she was lonely. Gradually, he was attracted by her carefree attitude. Maybe I expressed it wrong, female friend? He laughed. Lu Shuang looked at him fixedly. If his confession had appeared before she returned to China, she might have wavered. Or, after she left Shaniyan completely, she might have wanted to develop a relationship with him. But now, she was Shaniyan's lover. How could she bear his love? She felt that she didn't deserve it, and it would make him suffer. He might even despise her. Her Prince Charming might be the right person, but he appeared at the wrong time. She just needed to stay in that dark and damp place in her mind and fantasize. I'm not the good girl you think I am. I've done all kinds of bad things and I'm not repentant. Anyway, you'll regret it. Lu Shuang felt helpless and funny now, so she really laughed. Girl, you don't have to reject me like this. I can see it with my eyes, and I can feel it with my heart. Your sincerity, your goodness. Lu Shuang was embarrassed by his praise, because he was not talking about her at all. If you came to a land to ask me to go back, then you should go back now, because I will go back without you. Xiao Bao is still there. I came here because I have something to do. I can help you with anything, Jiang Yi said firmly. But he couldn't do anything. Lu Shuang was a little touched. He nodded at Jiang Yi and said, "Thank you for your love. It makes me want to be a good person all of a sudden." Jiang Yi laughed and said, "Silly girl, go and do what you want to do. Don't feel burdened because of my presence. When you want to try it out with me, come and find me. Just don't ignore me." What he said made her a little flustered. After all, he was her Prince Charming. The more he thought she was perfect, the more disgusted he felt when he found out the truth. But she couldn't tell him the truth. Luckily, she knew the distance between them. When did she learn to think? Lu Shuang entered the elevator. Jiang Yi passed the gift bag to Lu Shuang and said, "I bought it for you." Lu Shuang thought for a moment, but he didn't extend his hand. He stuffed the gift bag into her hands and said, "I am sure you will like it. If you don't, just throw it away." The elevator door closed slowly between the two of them. Lu Shuang took a deep breath and took another deep breath. She must have done the right thing by not accepting Jiang Yi. If Baiya was here, she would have told her what to do. But unfortunately, there was no Baiya in her world. The elevator opened and she came out of the hotel. She saw two people in black coats standing in front of a black Cayenne. One of them walked towards her and the other opened the car door. Lu Shuang got into the car helplessly. He still had to face Shaniyan when he went back. She looked at the gift box. It was a jewelry box. She opened it and there was a greeting card. There were blue diamond earrings under the greeting card. She liked them. She had taken a fancy to them when she went to the mall previously. But she didn't want to spend money, so she couldn't bear to buy them. She opened the greeting card and there was a sentence written on it. "I thought it suits you, so I bought it. I hope you like it, Yi." Her heart was wet, moist, and sour. She was also very touched. But she didn't reply to his message. She put the earrings in her bag. After a while, she returned to the president's palace and saw Shaniyan standing at the door. He looked at her sharply. His face was cold and his eyes were poisonous. It was as if he was going to tear her into pieces. Chapter 561. She walked up to Shaniyan. Shaniyan saw the gift box in her arms. He snatched it from her and threw it on the ground. "What are you doing? You promised me to go out. I only met my friend for a few minutes. You asked me to come back, and I came back. I don't think you have any reason to be angry." Lu Shuang said in confusion. Shaniyan held Lu Shuang's chin and said with a serious face, "Do you know who Jiang Yi is?" "I don't know who he is, so I don't think I'm wrong." Lu Shuang's chin was hurting from his grip. She tried to push his hand away, but it didn't budge. "You're not wrong. Who allowed you to put on makeup? Shen Yiyan realized the possibility in his eyes. He held her hand and pulled her into his room. His heart was tightened, and he felt a faint pain. The pain was like countless blades cutting into his flesh, so that he, who was usually reserved, became impulsive and irritable. He even wanted to break open her head and take out all the messy things inside. Lu Shuang struggled, but he couldn't get rid of him. Her hand seemed to be the one being punished, and it was almost broken by his grip. She was indeed pretending to be innocent, so she couldn't argue. But, if she didn't know Shen Yiyan, if Shen Yiyan had never appeared by her side, she wouldn't have been assassinated, and she wouldn't have lost her parents. Maybe she would have been in a good relationship, married, had children, and lived a happy life. Now, because of him, she couldn't put on makeup, couldn't make friends, didn't have the freedom of speech and action, and even had to listen to him when she did things. She even missed a perfect relationship. She was the one who felt the most wronged. Shen Yiyan pulled her into the room and saw her red eyes full of grievance, complaint, blame, and unwillingness. His heart softened, and he let go of her hand. Lu Shuang twisted her wrist, which was red. Shen Yiyan saw it too, and held her hand again, wanting to check it. Lu Shuang put his hands behind his back. Shen Yiyan was helpless. She frowned and looked at her. You know that I have enemies in Country D. Do you know who they are? Don't tell me it's Jiang Yi. Lu Shuang didn't believe it at all. He's just an ordinary architect. Isn't your enemy very powerful? Jiang Yi is Jiang Xingyu's uncle and also the second in command of this conglomerate. Jiang Yi got close to you because he wanted to make use of you. Yet, you foolishly allowed yourself to be used by him. Do you think it's normal for me to not be angry at all? Lu Shuang recalled the past. She really didn't know that Jiang Yi was so rich. Moreover, she didn't know Jiang Yi until she moved next door to Jiang Yi. It wasn't Jiang Yi who took the initiative to contact her. If Shen Yiyan didn't know where she had gone, Jiang Yi definitely wouldn't know. He didn't get close to me on purpose, nor did he make use of me, Lu Shuang said with certainty. You are my weakness. He seduced you into liking him and dealt a blow to me. Isn't that using you? Shen Yiyan said with bloodshot eyes. Weakness? Since when had she become his weakness? Don't think that she didn't know that after they separated in high school, although they were no longer together, she often heard news about him. The women he dated could probably fill a truck. Could he really like her? Lu Shuang stared at him and found that he was speaking so seriously that she had a strange feeling in her heart. This strange feeling made her a little flustered. Without thinking, she blurted out, "That's very simple. Just don't treat me as your weakness in the future. It's not easy to be your weakness. You have to guard against knives and lies, and you don't have freedom. I didn't study much, so please let me go." Are you trying to anger me to death? Shen Yiyan said gloomily, her chest heaving up and down violently. How can you possibly be angered to death? I'm the one who will be angered to death. I'm more narrow-minded than you. You don't let me go out, restrict my freedom, randomly suspect me, speculate about me, and use all kinds of ways to say that I'm stupid. If there was anything between me and Jiang Yi, I wouldn't have come back. You always consider things from your perspective. You think that Jiang Yi is your enemy, so you think that I should stay away from him. I don't know that he is your enemy. You get angry at me for no reason and even say that you will be angered to death by me. You will definitely be angered to death by yourself in the end, Lu Shuang said without thinking. Shen Yiyan stared at her. He thought that he cared too much about her and was afraid of her leaving. That was why he was so calculative about her matters and would not allow anything to happen to her. He reached out and hugged her in his arms. Lu Shuang didn't want him to hug her and pushed him away forcefully. What? Tell me, why don't you say it? Jiang Yi has bad intentions. Don't see him anymore, Shen Yiyan said in a low voice. Lu Shuang turned his back and couldn't be bothered with her. One was arrogant and violent, one was gentle, one was childish and willful, one was considerate, one punished, and one was tolerant and understanding. She was so unlucky to have rejected such a good person. Only comparison would hurt. In order not to be completely hurt, she had better not compare. Shen Yiyan hugged her from behind. Lu Shuang struggled with all her might. Looks like you're not hungry yet, so you still have strength, Shen Yiyan said. When he said that, she realized that she was really hungry. She looked at him and stopped struggling. She couldn't get away from him anyway. I want to eat lunch. I haven't had breakfast. Shen Yiyan looked at her gently and smiled. I want to eat in your room. She deliberately made things difficult for him, as if she could only get some balance if he was angry. Wait, I'll go downstairs and prepare it for you. Shen Yiyan agreed and let go of her. She fell on his bed and looked at the white ceiling. When would Shen Yiyan let her go? Did he really love her? She thought about it and couldn't believe it. But she felt that he really liked her. Did he really like her? Shen Yiyan came in with a tray. There was braised pork, pigeon soup, tomato and eggs, papaya and clams, beef ribs and 2 bowls of rice on the tray. He put the tray on the long table. Lu Shuang was really hungry. He sat at the table, picked up the chopsticks and lowered his head to eat. Shen Yiyan looked at her. Did your hand hurt? Yeah. Can't you tell me if it hurts? Shen Yiyan held her hand and blew on it. Lu Shuang frowned. Will you let me go if I tell you? You've done something wrong and you still want me to let you go. She pulled her hand out. I didn't do anything wrong. Does it feel good to think like that? Of course it feels good. Then you can keep thinking like that. I won't admit it anyway. Shen Yiyan looked at her. It does feel uncomfortable. I feel uncomfortable when I see you with other men, let alone Jiang Yi. I'm curious. How did you become enemies with them? You're obviously not from the same country. Lu Shuang looked at her. Shen Yiyan's eyes darkened. She picked up a piece of braised pork and put it in Lu Shuang's bowl. Eat more. You've lost a lot of weight. Lu Shuang could tell that Shen Yiyan was not willing to say it. Her gossipy nature was stirring a little. Chapter 562. Tell me, tell me. Lu Shuang urged. Jiang Xingyu's sister committed suicide because of me. Shen Yiyan said simply. Oh. Lu Shuang stretched out the last syllable. She thought of a lot of things. She knew about his romantic history and there seemed to be more than one woman who committed suicide because of him. This man was indeed a demon and he was good at seduction. Fortunately, she had the fiery eyes. Otherwise, if she fell in love with him and he had a wife, she would be depressed every day. Because of her thoughts, Lu Shuang stuffed the whole piece of braised pork into her mouth and realized that the meat was too big. When she bit it, it was full of oil. Shen Yiyan had no choice but to take a tissue to wipe her mouth. Lu Shuang stepped back. She was not used to letting him wipe her mouth. He felt that it was something that an adult did to a child. She was not his child. She took a tissue and wiped her mouth. Your chef makes good food, but it's a little big. Who eats a piece of braised pork in one bite? I'll tell them to make it smaller in the future. It's a gift from the president, of course I eat it in one bite to show my sincerity. Lu Shuang laughed and teased. You respect me so much. Why didn't I notice it before? Shen Yiyan said. He lowered his head and cut the braised pork into 2 pieces and gave her a piece. Lu Shuang looked at him suspiciously. She realized that he was not the same as before. In the past, he would not cut the meat into 2 pieces for her. In the past, he would only say that she ate too much and was fat. Shen Yiyan, have you changed? Lu Shuang raised his eyebrows. He just wanted her to know that he was good to her, so good that he would not leave her easily. Am I good to you? Shen Yiyan asked. Lu Shuang bit his chopsticks. I am good, but why do I feel that you are up to no good? Do you have something to ask of me? I don't know anything. She didn't know anything and she said it very sincerely. I'm not asking you to do anything. Just be good. I'm going to receive foreign ambassadors tonight. Come with me. Shen Yan said. Can I not go? The thought of receiving foreign envoys must be very formal and not suitable for a lazy person like her. No, you'll encounter them in the future. You don't have to learn them all at once. You're a smart person by nature, so it'll be easy for you to learn them, Shen Yan praised. She was actually an intelligent person. Thank you. He had already said so. If she refused, he would definitely not agree. Anyway, you can't blame me if I make a mistake. Lu Shuang agreed. Shen Yan smiled and said, of course. After lunch, I'll get the stylist to design a new hairstyle for you. I'll also get your clothes custom-made. So, don't go anywhere in the afternoon. She liked to do her hair and clothes, so she nodded. After lunch, Hua Zixing had been waiting at the door for a long time. She saw Lu Shuang. She smiled at her and walked up to Shen Yan. Ian, something happened while you were eating. Let's go to the study to talk about it. Okay. Shen Yan put her hands in her pockets and nodded. Okay. I have something to tell you too. Shen Yan turned and walked into the study. Hua Zixing followed her. Nangong Yu walked in front of Lu Shuang with a strange expression and reminded her, tomorrow, Madam will be inviting a foreign envoy to our home. The envoy's wife is colorblind and allergic to perfume. You should be careful. Got it. Lu Shuang sat on the sofa and turned on the television. Nangong Yu frowned. Madam and Sir have permission to watch television. Lu Shuang did not want to cause trouble. He turned off the television and took an apple. He lay on the sofa and took a bite. Why are you sitting and eating so badly? The sofa is for sitting, not lying down. People will look down on you if you act like this, Nangong Yu added. That's right. Lu Shuang glanced at Nangong Yu, got up and walked to the stairs. Nangong Yu blocked her way. Sir and Madam are talking. If you could hear them, you wouldn't have to go to the study. Dear, I'm not going to the study. I'm going to my room, okay? Lu Shuang said lazily. Nangong Yu stood aside awkwardly. Lu Shuang walked past her. Nangong Yu was getting more and more annoyed with her. She said softly, I don't know where this street girl came from. She has no manners at all. Lu Shuang stopped in his tracks. Uncle could tolerate it, but Auntie couldn't. She turned around and walked in front of Nangong Yu. She looked down at her. Talking behind someone's back. Is your manners good? My father is General Nangong. I've been brought up strictly since I was young. How is my manners bad? Nangong Yu blushed. You've said everything. You think your manners are good, but that's just what you think. You think others' manners aren't good, but don't let me hear it again. I don't want to talk to you because I don't think you're worthy. If you insist on provoking me, then I won't stand on ceremony. Lu Shuang said sharply. Nangong Yu didn't expect Lu Shuang to be so fierce. Her face turned red and white. How are you going to stand on ceremony? You want to know? Lu Shuang smiled. He turned around and walked upstairs. He knocked on the door of the study. Hua Zixing opened the door and smiled. What's up? Your maid said she needs your permission to watch TV. Can I watch TV? Lu Shuang asked. Of course. You don't need my permission. Since you're here, we're a family. You can do whatever you want, Hua Zixing said politely. Your maidservant just said that my upbringing isn't good. As for me, my father has been a dean his entire life and is diligent and conscientious. My mother was born in a scholarly family and was already an official when she was very young. She has been poor all her life. Do you think I can do it, but don't bring my parents along? I'm sorry. I'm not a good housekeeper. My maid spoke nonsense. Nan Gongyu, come and apologize, Hua Zixing said sternly. Nan Gongyu lowered her head. She walked to Lu Shuang and stole a glance at Hua Zixing. She said softly, I'm sorry. I spoke nonsense. Can I watch TV now? Lu Shuang asked Nan Gongyu. Nan Gongyu pursed her lips and didn't say anything. Of course. Do as you wish. If my maid offends you again, you can tell me, Hua Zixing said with a smile. Lu Shuang glanced at Hua Zixing. According to their age, she should be the elder sister. Hua Zixing was gentle and her voice was very pleasant. It made people feel comfortable. She didn't want to be calculative or offend her. However, if Nan Gongyu continued to pester her like this, she would feel annoyed. She wasn't someone who was easy to talk to. Thank you, Lu Shuang said. He turned around and went downstairs. Chapter 563. Nan Gongyu wanted to say something, but she saw Shen Yiyan looking at her with an unfriendly gaze. His aura alone was enough to kill her. She was terrified. The president didn't even need to be born to win a battle from 1,000 miles away. She could only say in a low voice, I understand. I won't do it again, madam. Hua Zixing went back to the study and closed the door. I'm sorry, my maid is too insensible. Shen Yiyan curled his lips and said meaningfully, Lu Shuang isn't someone to be trifled with. Even I don't dare to bully her. Tell your maid to stay away from her in case she starts crying. This sobbing was a statement that was confirmed. Hua Zixing understood what he was hinting at. He had given her face this time, but she wouldn't be able to protect Nan Gongyu next time. Hua Zixing smiled and changed the topic. Lu Shuang is an interesting girl. I feel that after she came, the president's residence will be much livelier. I like her straightforward personality. Take care of her more in the future. She's just not happy to do it. If she does it well, she won't cause you any trouble. No problem. I can take her to the cabinet first and get in touch with the officials' wives. Oh right, what should we do about Baya? Hua Zixing asked. Shen Yiyan tapped the table with his fingers, his eyes heavy and mature beyond his age. Zuochuni was never used by me in the first place. Gu Lingxing's death has nothing to do with Xing Dongqing. It's possible that those old fellows are also involved. They covet my current position. I won't do anything and let Baya suppress them. But don't do anything for now. I know what to do. Baya is quite powerful. She actually pulled Xing Dongqing down from the finance minister's position in just a few months. I didn't even dare to think about it in the past. Now, she's probably going to lose her position as the education minister. She's so powerful, and I'm a little worried that she'll oppose us. After all, the other's power will weaken, and her power will grow. Who are you going to use as the new finance minister? Hua Zixing asked. Everyone wants to be in that position. It's not easy for anyone to be in that position. As for Baya, she has her own goal. Her goal is definitely not to be the president, Shen Yiyan said with certainty. Is her target Zuochuni and Xing Dongqing? Hua Zixing was suspicious. Xing Dongqing bombed Gu Lingxing's plane. Even if the real cause of Gu Lingxing's death has nothing to do with Xing Dongqing, Baya will not let it go. She will find out who killed Gu Lingqing and avenge Gu Lingqing. After that, she will leave. When the time comes, will she really give up her power? Hua Zixing didn't think so. You don't understand Baya. She's not an ambitious person. Everything she does is for Gu Lingqing. But Gu Lingqing is already dead. Hua Zixing didn't believe it. She's still living in her heart. She would rather spend the extra time on her lover than on cold politics. I'm very sure. Let's not talk about Baya for now. Bring Lu Shuang with us tonight. Shen Yiyan was talking about the outcome. She wouldn't allow anyone to reject her. Hua Zijuan paused for a moment and smiled. All right, I'll bring her along. Thank you. I've already called a stylist over to design her hair and clothes that suit her. You should design some clothes too. Shen Yiyan stood up. Okay. By the way, the clothes won't be ready in time. I have a few dresses that I haven't worn yet. Her figure is similar to mine, so she should be able to wear them. I'll ask her to choose 2 from my room later. Is that okay? Okay. Sure. And jewelry. Since we're going to receive guests, we should have some jewelry. I happen to have some here. I don't wear them anyway, so I can give them to her, Hua Zixing said generously. That's not necessary. She has a lot of jewelry. She likes these things. I'll go and see her first. She was angry just now, Shen Yiyan said. He didn't hide his love for Lu Shuang. Okay. Tell her that she's sorry. Nangong Yu is still young. She has a bad memory. She'll forget it soon, Shen Yiyan explained. Then, he opened the door and went downstairs. Lu Shuang was lying on the sofa watching TV. He was so engrossed in it that he didn't notice Shen Yiyan coming down. What are you watching? Shen Yiyan asked. That man is the female lead's ex-husband. He cheated on her when she was pregnant. He got together with her bestie. Now, the bestie has taken all of his money. The child in her belly isn't his, it's his friend's. It feels so good to be slapped in the face, Lu Shuang explained. Shen Yiyan smiled and sat down beside her. And then? Then, the female lead found a handsome guy to be her boyfriend. That handsome guy is super nice to her. His family is rich and powerful. His in-laws also accepted the female lead. Now, she's pregnant with that handsome guy's child. What about the female lead's previous child? Shen Yiyan asked. That child is gone. It was pushed down the stairs by her bestie. Now, I really hope that the female lead's ex-husband's friend doesn't want the female lead's bestie. That man is a little stupid. The one who got cheated is the brother of a kind female lead, Lu Shuang explained. Sounds interesting. Hua Zixing sat down on the sofa next to him. When Lu Shuang heard Hua Zixing's voice, he came to his senses and sat up immediately. His heart was twisted. Although Hua Zixing and Shen Yiyan were married by agreement and Hua Zixing also had someone she liked, they were still husband and wife. She couldn't go overboard in her own home. She couldn't get over it. Hua Zixing smiled and said gently, "It's okay. You can just lie down." Lu Shuang smiled politely at Hua Zixing. He leaned back on the sofa and watched the television. He couldn't watch it anymore. The atmosphere in the room was a little strange. Lu Shuang stole a glance at Hua Zixing. She was also watching the television. Even though she was in her own home, she was still sitting like a lady on the sofa. Her back was straight, her legs were together, and her hands were resting on her knees. As for her, she was sitting cross-legged on the sofa lazily. She accidentally compared herself again and looked at Shen Yiyan. She didn't know when he had sat next to her. One of his hands was naturally placed on the back of the sofa behind her and the other hand was pointing at his forehead. His bored look made him look like a ruffian. Luckily, Shen Yiyan was about the same as her. She felt much better and elbowed him in the stomach. Shen Yiyan grunted and looked at her. I didn't use any strength. You should learn how to sit. You're the president. Hee hee. Lu Shuang's eyes curved as she smiled and said in disdain. Stop it. Shen Yiyan held her hand as if he was hugging her. He was too arrogant in front of his wife. Lu Shuang withdrew his hand and stood up. I'm not watching anymore. You guys watch. I'm going back to my room. You're tuning into the Romantic Tales YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.